Hello friends and bees and friends who are also bees. Welcome to this week's Final Fantasy XIV stream. This week a little bit earlier than usual because it's time to do 5.4 MSQ. Exciting. So the plan is to just do the MSQ today, and then tomorrow I'm going to do everything else. That may change depending on how long the MSQ takes. But I don't want to be up till the arse crack of dawn. I don't want to. I remember for 5.3 it took me about 6 hours to get through the MSQ, and I was not ready for it. So we're going to avoid that. Hopefully I'll be able to get into Final Fantasy XIV with any luck. It's having some problems letting me log in. I have not done any of the story at all. It's all completely new to me for 5.4, so I'm coming in with no spoilers, no idea what's going on, as it should be. It's also been a hot minute since I did 5.3, so context, what is? I'm going to be humming Sam Smith to myself all evening also, I'm afraid, because I've been listening to a lot of the music while I've been working recently. So my brain is just playing, I'm not the only one, on repeat. You say I'm crazy. And it's just that over and over again. Q. Q-itis. Forgot I'd logged out in Crystarium, but I went to go look at the new gear, which is good. I like it. I like the new crafted stuff. I really like the Crypt Lurker stuff, new Claimstone stuff. Way into it. Also, it's just struck me that this means doing roulettes for dailies again. God, it's been so long since I've done those. Ugh. Remember when my habit was to like come home from work and I would like log in and do my roulettes, then do a workout and then stream, and now I'm just like sit at my computer reading and writing for a bit, and then I get up and I walk around the flat a little bit, and then I sit back down and I'm like, okay, I'll play video games now. Also, I've managed to burn my mouth and it hurts, and the burn on my hand is now at the blister stage and it hurts, and I just want everyone to know that is how life be. Right, let's swap over to the game to play. Nice. Right, what am I going to do? There we go. My desk chair likes to sink slightly. Is anyone online? That's not what I wanted to do. Shift G. Mab and Bunny are... Right. Just get started, shall we? I need to swap. There we go. I'm swapping back to my canon outfit. I'm not doing this in the Christmas outfit. And then for tomorrow I'll make a list of where to do all the new quests and where to pick them up. And how to do that. The plan today is to get through the MSQ. Depending on when I'm done with the MSQ, I'll decide if I want to do anything else. I know that I don't want to unlock Eden just yet. I want to do all of Eden tomorrow. but I literally have not decided anything else. Right. Just like run headlong away from get distracted by cool armor. Mostly I'm looking to see if anyone has the new outfits. Chocobo. It's just there, having fun. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Hello? There we go. This is just a handful of us like running backwards and forwards like, please let me in. Just noticed somebody in Say Chat's called Seasonal Depression. Good name. Ah, pardon me. That here's your friend and mine. Suppose we ought to take stock of the situation. By forestalling the 8th animal calamity, we've unwritten history. The future now lies beyond my ken. None can say what awaits, but so long as we stand together, I doubt not that we can overcome all trials. We have always done so, have we not? Well, need to get it used to new tricks. I don't know. What's... Okay, I think we've talked to all of these guys already, so. Everyone likes to go inside prepared for them. The time I spent polishing wasn't in vain. Right, what's up, Cryle? Greetings, Maeve. Come to look at our friends? Rest assured, everyone is quite well. I've been keeping a close eye on them and have satisfied myself that they're all in fine health. As a matter of fact, they're just about to convene in Dawn's Respite to discuss how best to use their pent-up energy. Let's join them, shall we? Let's do that.
Well, my friends, now that we have all settled back into our bodies, it is time we resumed our duties in earnest. Let us speak of our plans.
Ever since the Emperor's death, it's been one unsettling rumor after another. I have a mind to pay a visit to Garlemald to ascertain the truth of the matter.
Prognostication. A little prognostication thought pops up.
Endeavor. 'Tis of the essence that we establish the full extent of the threat, not least if it should prove that Xenos doth indeed orchestrate events from the shadows. In light of which possibility, I shall accompany thee on thy mission. Be assured that thou shalt find me more a help than a hindrance. Thou requirest another to imbue thine ammunition, dost thou not?
Me too, Stella. Me too.
Assuming that's settled, there's something I've been meaning to look into as well.
Who's?
Welcome back, everyone.
Lise!
Lacey, breezy, beautiful radish girl.
You're fine now, right? No more headaches or keeling over?
That's right. We're fighting fit and raring to go.
All our friends are back.
The famous Lise Hext, former scion and hero of the Alamegan resistance.
Oh, you big fanboy.
I don't believe we've met.
Really? It's so easy to assume that all Archons are acquainted. But then I suppose your fields of expertise are rather different.
Grahatir, at your service. I have read much and more about your exploits, Commander. It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance.
Big fanboy.
Likewise. The others told me all about you.
Do not be so sure. Words scarcely do justice to the vital role he played in our victory in the first. A more dependable comrade
No, I'm
one
not
would be
behaving.
hard-pressed to find.
Oh my god.
Oh, right. I did glance at the report. But I'd be lying if I said I understood half of it.
Do love the catboy ear wiggles. The whole party's back.
Well, well, that's a lot to take in. Just to be clear, this means we're not heading for another calamity, does it?
Not yet.
Shorn of their unsundered master's leadership, what Ascians remain shall struggle to see their plans to fruition. And though I would ever advise caution, I believe we may rest easy for a time.
I'll take that as a yes. Even so, I don't know what to make of this business about Hydaelyn and Zodiac being primals.
A difficult truth to bear.
Neither do
yes.
I.
But at last we understand the nature of our adversary. And if there are no further calamities, neither will there be rejoinings, meaning Zodiac will never regain his full strength. Even so, as the oldest and mightiest of primals, he remains a force to be feared. Though his is a power born of the desire for salvation, we have seen the havoc it may wreak. And it falls to us to ensure that it is never again brought to bear upon this star.
But tell us, Lise, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit?
Makes various
What
noises.
do you mean? Isn't seeing my long-lost comrades reason enough? Alright, there was one other matter. I have a message from the Alliance, and before you ask, yes, it's about the Empire.
Phone says, did you know that you're live? Yes, phone, I did.
So, after Emperor Varys' assassination, it seems his cousin Nerva made a bid for the throne. The trouble is, he wasn't the only one with designs on it, and it didn't take long for a civil war to break out. And it's not just in the provinces. Early reports say huge swathes of the Imperial capital have been reduced to rubble. The Alliance will soon convene in Alamigo to decide on a course of action, and we were hoping you'd come along.
Well, as it happens, Urianger and I were just this moment planning a little trip to Garlemald. And we should be grateful for any advice the Alliance can provide on how best to make the most of our visit.
To Alamigo, then.
Why don't you go on without me? There's something I need to look into.
Ah, forgive me. You were just telling us. What is it, if I may ask?
I want to find a way to cure the Tempered.
Figured as much.
Of
Everything.
course. You think it may be possible to adapt the treatment you use to help those corrupted by the Sin Eaters?
I'm sorry, a cure for tempering? But that would change everything. Alizé, consider yourself uninvited. Go and find us this cure.
Consider yourself uninvited.
I'll do my best. I was hoping you might join me. Don't worry if not, though. I won't hold it against you if you'd rather attend a stuffy meeting.
Purely in character for Maeve. I like stuffy meetings.
Rest assured, there'll be many, many more. Go on, lend Alizé a hand.
I'll come too. If you don't mind, that is.
Here's our little cat boy.
Mind? I'm sure they would be glad of your company. Pray, enjoy your time together with your hero.
Just realised my hair is so puffy in the back. Dark butt.
No, that's not... I mean...
Cry, you big old
I
fanboy.
simply thought my knowledge might be of some use.
Guess it's no longer bully Thancred hours, it's now bully Grotahart hours.
We shall be on our way then. Godspeed.
So my Garlemald prognostication is that next expansion we're going to be going to Garlemald. And I personally am hoping for like a spy thriller type game. I'm not expecting it, but I'm hoping for it. So, you know. When which dollar's about, one cannot afford even the slightest slip. Don't worry, I can say with complete confidence that Grothart's dressed for anything. When I set out to save Halric, I think Gabu was always at the back of my mind, and having proved that the light corrupted and not lost, I'm convinced that the same must be true if the Emperor tempered. Similar to those corrupted by the Sun Eaters, the ether of Gabu's soul has been rendered stagnant, and though the root cause is different, perhaps the solution is the same. It is by no means an unreasonable hypothesis, I'll say, and it warrants full investigation. If there's even a chance we can save Gabu, we have to try. But however much I'd like to race over to Limsa and set to work, there's no room for recklessness, not when a child's life is at stake. As I'm sure Beck-Luke could remind us, we know little and less about the soul. Any number of things could go wrong if we don't exercise due caution. And so, before we attempting anything, we should learn all we possibly can about tempering. Just one problem. Research into the condition has long since ground to a halt, and the combined work of many scholars involved doesn't exactly amount to a wealth of knowledge. None of the modern scholars, perhaps, but what of their ancient counterparts? I know the Allegans took a more than passing interest in the subject. And if what we seek is to be found anywhere, it would surely be at the Etherochemical Research Facility. Where they experimented on primals and their worshippers? Yes. Good thinking. I've never actually been there myself, but I did read the reports on Mazis La, which means we'll be needing an airship. An airship, you say? Meet me at the northern bank of Lake Silpte. I've got a little surprise for you. Oh, and come prepared to travel. Brilliant, we've got one of those in the FC house. I like that all three of us do the confused head tilt. So yeah, why am I on server time? I want to be on local time. That's my intense prognostications for 6.0. Keep the information flowing between us and the Alliance. After all, close coordination is the key to winning this war. If you're looking for Isildur and Alian, they're off to Dermot to visit Home. Okay. And these guys are probably saying the same thing as before. Pardon me. That's better. At some point my camera got knocked down. There we go, you can actually see the flag and the fairy lights now. You can't see them very well because the lights are on, but if I do this, fairy lights. Unfortunately, also if I do that, you cannot see me, so swings and roundabouts, huh? Ooh. Purple. Very cool. Like seeing the bits, like the cling filmy type bits. Okay, I'll stop being distracted now. Good old Tataru. You know, just having an airship. I give you the Bonanza, the Scion's very own airship. I built her as a company project with help from my friends at the Rising Stones, and named her for luck and prosperity. Tataru, this is amazing. We'll be able to fly just about anywhere we want. Garments were impressive enough, but to build an entire ship, I see that annals did not exaggerate the many talents of the Scion's fabled Queenkeeper. I'd also introduced myself as your pilot, except the training didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. But that's right, because we've hired this capable fellow here. Bonanza's equipped full complement of manicatus, by the way. Feel free to use them to get around Azizla. But enough talk, it's time to fly. All aboard! Choof choof! Choof choof is one of those jokes that I don't like. I'm not currently in touch with anybody who was present for Choof Choof, so it's a joke that I make that only I find funny, but hasn't stopped me before and it won't stop me now. Honestly, Sid would be jealous of the way that airship flies. Tataru has outdone herself. Anyway, here we are on Azizla, and Alfina's report did not do the scale of this place justice. Got anything to say, Alize? So this is where you had your reckoning with Thordan. I wish I'd been there. Suspecting glint. Appears to be a helix, which means we stand in Alpha Quadrant. To the east lies the Beta Quadrant, and yes, I believe I have my bearings. This is my first time on Azizla. I do have some familiarity with the place, thanks to the records in the Crystal Tower. Unless I'm mistaken, this path leads to an aetherite, beyond which there'll be an information terminal. I suggest we begin our search there. I've, spent a lot of time here. I really like how Aetherochemical Research Facility looks. I've got a weakness for elegant design, like in general, you know? Time for our authority and elegant artifacts to show what you can do. And here's the terminal. A moment while I search the archives for references to tempering. Ah, there we are. Iconic corruption, an overview. That sounds promising. Indeed, let us see what this report has to say. My voices for these characters are all messed up. I've forgotten all of the voices that I've done. Confound it. Contents appear to have been deleted. What? No, isn't there something you can do? Recycle bin. Not from here, I'm afraid, but it may be that another copy of the report exists elsewhere. Question is, where to look? It says here the report was written by someone named Owen. Is it likely that he kept a copy? I would say it quite a distinct possibility. And assuming he was a researcher here, he will have had quarters on the Habisphere. We can ascertain the details at Habisphere Control. Let us return to the Bonanza and avail ourselves of the manicutters. We will need them to reach our destination. I forgot, you already have a suitable means of transport, don't you? No need to waste time accompanying us back to the ship then. We'll see you at the Habisphere. Good name for a zone in which people live. A Habisphere. Always fun waiting for the mount to load in and see which one you got. I like Aetherochemical Research Facility as an absolute ball ache, especially when you're leveling and can't fly yet. But to fly around, it is so nice. Like, not joining the fate, don't worry about it. I love the Allegan aesthetic. I might give one of my characters in a sort of place that's all Alleganed up. Come on, Graha. Somebody called Grania. Like, Nyar. A bunch of people in their chocobos. But Graha has not yet loaded in. There we go. Sorry, this is just what patch day is like, you know. That Owen did indeed have a chamber here. The Snood will be able to tell us its number. Need a chair that's slightly higher. That's what I need. There. From what I recall of the layout, there should be some in the vicinity of... Warning, an evacuation order is presently in effect. Entry to the Hemisphere is not permitted at this time. Foiled again. In all likelihood, the order would have been imposed during the fourth Umbral Calamity, and I doubt it will be lifted in the near future. Energy level critical, returning to base for recharging. Well, surely there must be some other way to gain access. Force, for example? And we resort to that. I have an idea. Were we to send a surge of energy through yonder control mechanism, it should prompt the system to restart, releasing the locks. As for a suitable energy source, a concentrated lightning shard might suffice. Happily, I seem to recall they're known to form at points of stagnant ether throughout the continent. Seem to recall? You honestly telling me that was in the records too? I am. A report sent to the capital mentioned the lightning aspect of ether was prone to pooling on the continent, resulting in surges that interfered with equipment. I just noticed his little hair clips and that's so cute. A minor detail, I grant you, but in my role as caretaker of the Crystal Tower, there was no such thing as too much Allegan knowledge. Besides, my studies helped me feel connected to the source, to home. I must have explored this facility 1,000 times on my mind, but to finally stand here with the two of you, it is more exhilarating than I could well express. Now then, the lightning shard. If I may, I suggest we split up and search the Beta Quadrant. Oh, but beware of sprites. They'll want to manifest where the ether is stagnant. Now you're just showing off, which makes me think we should make a contest of this. First to return here with the shard wins. What do you say? Very well. It would be my honour to come third. Have some confidence in yourself, dude. I'm sorry I appear to be dropping some frames, and I do apologise for that. I'm waiting for Oster to log in. So that I can harass him. Sorry, I keep hitting the wrong button. Any roll for any more? I'd like to be able to pick up the crystal, please. Sorry, it really is. I'm in loading hell. Has my bot died? Bear with me. Possibly. Right. No, what was I? Oops. Did not need to be in caps. It appeared that my bot has died. There we go, now I can pick up the stagnant lightning. Okay. Whoops, did I accidentally hit that buff? Sure did. Nice, right. Now I can pick it up. While I do this, I'm going to restart Streamlabs. Bravo! That was quite a show, adventurer. Why, the spectacle proved so enthralling that all thoughts of the prize slipped my mind. I appear to have forfeited a little race. Congratulations. The lightning shard is now yours. But no dramatic entrance. You've changed. You remember that? In my defense, I was caught up in the moment. It isn't every day you meet an honest-to-God's hero, after all. Cry, you big fanboy! Well, contest continues, so you better hurry back. But one last thing. Thank you, Maeve, for bringing me here. Big gay fanboy. Let's get out of this toothy pit, as it were. There we go. Man, it would have been much quicker if I'd just gone that way. Okay. Sit here and wait for NPCs to load in. See if... There we go, my bot lives. Sorry that you had me typing test 3 times in a row. Sometimes that is indeed just how it be. Piers Alice had no luck, so victory is yours. Congratulations. Now then, if I may have the shard. Handle with care. What is it that makes you so much better at finding things? What do you have that I don't? A question I too have asked myself on numerous occasions. I suspect we could both learn a great deal from Maeve, and not only about the secrets of adventuring. But come, we should attend to our mission. Excellent. System responded exactly as intended. We now have access to the Hubbysphere. Only one obstacle remains, the security systems within. Should they be triggered, they could make life rather difficult for us. In light of which, pray leave the rest to me. If I'm right, my royal blood should allow me to venture in unmolested. Unmolested? Jesus, what's wrong with me? Unmolested. Assuming this place works like the Crystal Tower, yes. But if it doesn't, you'll be on your own. I want you to promise us that you get out at the first sign of trouble. I promise. Wish me luck. Listen, I could do it. I'm the hero. I could do it just fine. Well, nothing for it but to sit tight. Have a little heart to heart. Sorry that all I'm doing is playing lip balm. It's really dry in this room. Between how dry it is outside and the heating, my room gets like super dry, so. Get dry hands and dry lips. I'm sure this Owen fellow was very learned, but iconic corruption, an overview, sounds like a studium thesis. We all had to write one. Lest you wonder, mine was about the combat applications of ether. I'm nothing if not practical. Alpha Nodes was more philosophical, of course. Political, dare I say it. He chose to write a lengthy discourse on our nation's duty to the world. Controversial subject, to say the least. He asserted that Charlian's knowledge should rightly be used to protect all life on the star, in direct opposition to the country's cherished policy of non-intervention. Being a leading member of the forum, our father was not happy. At the time, of course, Alphina was utterly convinced of his views and would cheerfully argue to the death with anyone who saw things differently, by which I mean the rows were long brows. To be fair to him, though, he's since learned to be a little more open-minded, but deep down he still holds fast to that one belief, and I admire him for it. I should have liked to meet the young Alphina. For what it's worth, my thesis concerned the elegant civilization as depicted in folklore. Oh, you're back. I didn't know you attended the studium. I didn't. A thesis was required to earn my Archon's mark. My peers of the students at Baldusian convinced me to write one with a promise of unfettered access to forbidden tomes. Though I considered it no more than a means to an end at the time, I will admit it was gratifying to have my efforts acknowledged. Good gods, an Archon's thesis. Shudder to imagine the work involved. But enough of that. About that. Is this the fruit of your foray? So Maeve also attended was in Charlian, but I don't think they ever had to write a thesis. My headcanon for what happened with Maeve is that they were studying with Charlian and like sent to Eorzea. So it's sent to Eorzea basically to apprentice, and they sort of putzed about on Eorzea for a bit while they were trying to decide like an area of magic that they wanted to focus on. And then the calamity happened and everything went wrong. So they never actually technically graduated. A student still. Good gods, an Archon's thesis. Is this the fruit of your foray? Yes, Owen's archive node. It was waiting for me in his chamber. If a copy of his report still survives, it'll be stored in this device. Should we find out? I love elegant orbs. Initializing. Scanning for registered user. User not found. To proceed as guest, please complete biometric authentication. Verifying. Authentication complete. Guest identified as member of the royal family. I'm at your most humble service, your highness. Haha. It never ceases to amuse me. 'Tis but a pity the effect will not last forever. Doga and Yone said as much when they granted me this gift, but until such time as it fades, I shall use it gratefully. Search archive for iconic corruption. Searching. One item found. Iconic corruption. An overview. This report is locked by the author. Please state password. Well, go on then, your highness. Tell the nice node the password. Right, let's see. Glory be to Alec. Long live Emperor Zande. Password incorrect. Please try again. Confound it. Come now, passwords are invariably short and simple. For instance... Password. Notion the password could be something so inane would be laughable were it not dangerously stupid. Furthermore, your conduct in the presence of His Highness is grossly inappropriate. Know your place, handmaiden. What did that thing just call me? Wild Rose. Password incorrect. Be warned that any further inappropriate behaviour in the presence of His Highness will not be tolerated. Right, that's it. I say we dismantle it and manually extract what we need. Hannah, let's not be too hasty. A single misstep and we risk losing the report altogether. I believe this may be a task for Sid and his colleagues. If anyone can coax Markin into cooperating, it's them. Come, let us bear the node back to the Rising Stones. You love to see it. Give me fish pie. Fine, I'll let Sid try his hand, but if that doesn't work, we're doing it my way. Should probably mention I've yet to meet Sid since waking up. Ramprose did send word to the Ironworks, but it appears our friend has been afield on urgent business. He sure has. Nevertheless, I assure you my proposal to seek his help is no pretext, however much I might look forward to seeing him again. Him and everyone. But come, let us be on our way. Look at him, all but running. How sweet. Still, wouldn't do to keep him waiting. Shall we? Let's go. I like the music. I like elegant aesthetics in general. Makes me very happy. Sorry. Ear hurts as it always does. Let me into the Rising Stones. Get me out of the lag zone. Take it you have news to share. So do I. Pleased to see your mission was a success, and in no small part due to the bonanza. Carl's back too. I wonder what was decided at the council. Wonderful news, Maeve. Tatara contacted Sid on our behalf and he's on the way here even as we speak. While we wait, I should very much like to hear what transpired at the Alliance Council. Would you be so kind, Cryle? As you know, the meeting was convened to discuss how best to respond to recent events in Garlemald. According to intelligence from our Doman allies, the War of Succession rages on, and the Empire remains without leader. Amidst the chaos, the Imperial legions in the provinces have begun to move independently of the motherland. Of greatest concern to us is the Third, the legion aligned with Lord Neva. It appears they have received substantial backing from House Brutus. Livia and Lucia's family? Aren't they the ones who took in Yotio and Asahi? This bodes well. Xenos movements, meanwhile, remain shrouded in mystery. We're hoping that Thancred and Yorianche will be able to shed some light on his activities when they return. Until such time as they do, the Allied leaders feel it be unwise to interfere in the conflict, and so, thanks in part to the primal withdrawal from Gimlet, they've decided to turn their attention to the primal problem once more. Working with friendly factions among the Beast Tribes, they hope to reopen the dialogue and explore new avenues for peace. Given the timing, I suspect they wish to put their respective houses in order ahead of a decisive clash with the Empire. Whatever their intent, this is not a problem easily solved. The Luminsons, in particular, struggle in their efforts, and Alphano and Ishtar have been called upon to aid them. So long as we are dealing with the tempered, I'm afraid no amount of dialogue will avail us. But if we can develop a treatment for tempering, then anything is possible. Which is why we must succeed. And on that cheery note, why not make yourselves comfortable in the Dawn's Respite? I'll show Sid in as soon as he arrives. Understand, you took a little trip to Darcy's lab. I liked seeing what they're saying, even if it's not like super new or interesting. It's still always fun to see what they have to say. Warning, His Highness is exhibiting elevated blood pressure. As important as Gabu is to me, I know only too well how much more is at stake here. A cure could change the world. Sid, at long last. God. Cry! That's what I thought you'd say, you gay fanboy. Sid. Forgive us for not coming to see you sooner, my friend. As you may have heard, we've had our hands full. In our defence, you are up rather early. I was under the impression you'd be slumbering a while longer. Oh, I would have been, had you not fulfilled your promise. Ha! Still struggle with that idea. From where I stand, the secrets of traversing time and space seem exactly as unfathomable as they ever did. But if an alternate version of myself has already laid them bare, I dare say that frees me up to concentrate on other endeavours. Speaking of which, you wanted my help with something. What is it? Well, you see, I've got an Alaga node that I need you to hack into for me. Well, a treatment for tempering. And for the next step, you need to find the password to this Alagan's report. Just so, with nary a clue to guide us, we could be here forever and still not guess correctly. And thus we turn to you. Well, I'd love to say we could help you, so I will. Once suitably configured, a Magitech terminal should make short work of identifying the password. I knew I could rely on you. Anticipating it might be of use, I took the liberty of borrowing a tomestone from Mabros. It contains an elegant dictionary. That's invisible tomestone. Good thinking. I'll transfer the information to a terminal and set it to work right away. They are friends. Beep, 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 boop. I like that idle animation. Looks like it's finished. Let's see. Freedom. The password is freedom. Short and simple, just as I said. Would you care to do the honours, Your Highness? I would, milady. Here's a small cat. Cat and boy. Note, open the report entitled Iconic Corruption and Overview. Password, freedom. Password accepted. Opening report. This report seeks to provide an overview of the mechanism by which icons corrupt and bind men to their will. Humans. People. The phenomenon we call corruption refers to the alteration of the ether of the soul. Said ether ordinarily exists in equilibrium, no one element being more prominent than the other. But when a subject is exposed to ether of an icon, this changes, their soul taking on the properties of the entity in question. By way of an example, exposure to the ether of the fiend, Sephiroth, will cause the subject's ether to become aligned with the element of earth. As a consequence, the subject would attain heightened affinity with earth-aspected magics, as well as preternatural levels of endurance. Repeated exposure would further enhance these traits, ultimately altering the subject's very flesh. The changes undergone by the subject are not solely attributable to elemental alignment, however. Further testing has determined that the subject's soul becomes unruly charged or stagnant during the process. The stagnation of the soul has the effect of diluting the self, of rendering the subject vulnerable to the will of the icon, the thoughts of whom come to consume their entire existence. In this manner do the corrupted become worshippers of the icon, their prayer serving to further empower the deity. Having discerned the mechanism of iconic corruption, my colleagues and I seek out to develop a material capable of shielding one from its effects, an endeavour in which we were successful, albeit at a great cost. In the course of testing, many of my assistants, good men and women all, fell victim to corruption, and in accordance with protocol, they were summarily put to death. I subsequently submitted a proposal to investigate potential cures for the corruption, but it was rejected, deemed non-essential by Lord Aemon. Though I know it would have been fruitless, I protested the decision, and for my impertinence I have been stripped of rank and title and will shortly be expelled from the facility. In all likelihood, this report will be expunged from the archives. Nonetheless, I record it in the hope that one day someone will undertake to do that which I could not, and find a cure for the victims of iconic corruption. End recording. So not even the Alicans were able to find a cure, or rather, were not given the chance to do so. One cannot help but wonder what motivated Lord Aemon's decision. More importantly, this confirms the stagnation of the soul is indeed the problem, and Angelo can remedy that. True, yet were we to simply reanimate a tempered soul, I fear it would do naught to diminish the individual's fanatical faith. Indeed, it may well intensify it. No, we would need to somehow suppress the primal's hold over the subject at the same time, or risk them forever remaining its thrall. If only we could make them remember who they were. I should sit properly and not leaning over. Of course, memory transference. Process has the effect of compartmentalizing memories, separating them into manageable bundles, if you will. By adapting the technique, it may be possible to achieve selective reanimation, that is, limit the effects to only those memories that existed prior to tempering. Through thus restoring the sense of self, we could theoretically drown out the incitements of false faith which had come to dominate the individual's thoughts. The theory seems sound, and our experience treating the light corrupted would help us identify suitable memories for reanimation. But are you confident you can adapt memory transference as required? I seem to recall your attempts to do so while trying to bring us home culminated in literal bloodletting. They did, you are right. Despite my best efforts, I could not recreate the mechanism, and I can see that the rather clumsy compromise I reached would not provide the basis for a cure. Then perhaps it's better we consider another approach. Your doubts are understandable, but this time I believe we have reason to be confident. You see, nodes such as this were built with the ability to simulate magic, which leads me to believe that it may be capable of performing simulations of the transference technique. If so, we'd be able to conduct years' worth of tests within the space of a few days. In theory, it would be no different from how we identified the password, but it'll take more calculating power, a lot more. I honestly couldn't say whether our equipment would be up to the task. Tell me, Sid, why do you suppose Owen locked his report behind a password? To keep it from prying eyes, of course. Why else? Wait, a password that could be guessed by anyone with a leisure and a dictionary wouldn't keep a person minded to look. No, he wanted his report to be seen, by those who strive for freedom. Not unlike the members of a "Please stop sending me emails" certain distinguished engineering collective. I believe their motto was "Freedom through technology" or some such. You two, round up as many Magitech terminals as you can find and bring them to the workshop. Right away, Chief. I'm sorry that my voices are not very different, but hey, c'est la vie. Things are about to get very busy. Lucky we have you to help, eh? I appreciate that the answer to Sion's, Garlemald for now is we'll worry about it later. Suffice it to say, she'll be whatever help I can. Shut up, Tataru. Some things you shouldn't put a price on. As with our first foray into the labyrinth of the ancients, we seek to venture into the unknown, and in order to succeed, we require not only the knowledge and preparation, but daring besides, just like old times. Getting there, Maeve. Right, while Graha and I configure the terminals, I want the rest of you to procure supplies. Namely, Corellium to fill the terminals, and eye shards to keep them cool. The more we have of both, the better. Leave the eye shards to me. I'll round up some adventurers and go on a gathering spree. In that case, I'll trust Maeve and Alice with the cerulean. Here's a promissory note for each of you. Take them to the Scar Steel Manufactory in Ishgard and the Corellium Processing Plant at Thanalan. The people there will give you what we need. Yours is a well-known face in the Holy See, I believe. If it's all the same to you, I'll head to Thanalan. Thanalan, a ding-dong. See to it, someone's ready. Scar Steel Manufactory. Off you go now. You got it. The good news is my bot does seem to be alive again, so it's always good to see. Sorry, I'll stop futzing with my camera soon. I just feel like up here it looks like I'm being cut off, like it's just my neck. But then when I do this, you can't really see the words. You can't see the words. Listen, I notably cannot speak, so. Hey bud. Stand in the Scout Steel Manufactory. What is it you require? Give me items. So after the Ceridium. In that case, please present the note to our engineer at the airship landing. He'll be glad to assist you. Where am I going? Up to the Athenaeum. Okay. I like this person who's just walking around. Friend just posted in Discord that their cat is curled up with them. It's cute. A little, he's not little, he's a ginormous fluffy kitten. Big furry baby. Ceridium, you come to the right man. Fair warning though, the price is shot up on account of uncertainty with the Empire, so I hope you got the hiccups. Now, promising note from the Ironworks. Don't see many of these. Not that it's a problem. Good as gold to me. Just be here chatting about fuel. And who should appear? Put some friends.
My friend! After the disappointment of not seeing you in Alamigo, what good fortune to chance upon you here of all places.
How you doing? Been stabbed recently, Aymeric?
As you may have heard, the Allied nations are making a renewed effort to address the primal problem. To that end, have I invited the chieftain of the Vanu to Ishgard, that we might together plot a course.
I suppose it's helpful that we've done all those beast tribes, huh?
Since the war with the Empire appears to be nearing its conclusion, I would also like to call upon Estinian's lance. Alas,
sure you would.
He is, as ever, a difficult man to find. I am informed he recently paid a visit to the Rising Stones. Should he happen to do so again, be sure to pass on my regards, won't you? But tell me, what business brings you to our fair city this day?
Well, you see.
A cure for tempering. You never cease to amaze me. Until now, our only hope has been prevention, our every failure irrevocable. But this would rewrite the rules of engagement. It could end the cycle of bloodshed. Very well. You shall have all the ceruleum we can provide, and an airship with which to transport it.
I'm just here making heart eyes at
In this
Lucia there.
You may count on Ishgard's full support.
Listen, I only care about one character. I don't know why earlier I thought the Brutus family was Lucia and Livia's. I just checked and they're Junius. Anyway, one presumes the Brutus family has thrown in their lot with Xenos because Thingamajig's taken over Asahi's body, but you'd love to see it. I really like how Graha's staff looks.
Oh, who would have thought ceruleum weighed so much? Serves me right for being stubborn, I suppose. I should have just done what you did and accepted help.
Can you imagine this nerd carrying anything heavy?
Good work, you two. This is all we asked for and more. Quite a lot more now that I look at it.
Well, you see. I've got friends in high places.
Lord Emmerich, eh? And entirely by chance. Ha! Some people have all the luck.
We have also succeeded in configuring the terminals, thanks in no small part to our able assistant.
There he is, your friend and mine, the Red Menace.
It's been a while, hero. You seem surprised to see me. Lest you misunderstand, I've no interest in such things as cures for tempering. But if you mean to achieve that which eluded even the storied Allagans, it seemed plain that you would require my expertise. And so it proved. Is that not right, Garland?
For all the effort it took to track you down after your latest disappearing act, you could find the cure for death, and it wouldn't be worth the trouble.
Just two old men sniping each other. You know how it be. Old men is not the word I was looking for, but you know.
That wasn't the only reason I agreed to cooperate. I'm reliably informed that Garland and I are destined to unravel the secrets of travel not only across dimensions, but through time.
Sure is. Whoops, I thought I clicked past the dialogue there.
Doubtless the lion's share of the credit lies with me. 9 parts to Garland's 1. And this research will be a stepping stone to that illustrious achievement.
Very well then. I'll do 1/10 of the work. Just the part that's beyond you.
Whatever you say, Garland.
Yeah, you too. Just keep nattering.
The healing applications of crystal foci proved very useful in getting us to where we are now. I must remember to thank Mikoto.
Nice. I was saying this earlier with some friends, but I really like how all of the various aspects are being tied together just through things like that, like references to something that happened in an optional thing. It's just pretty neat the way they do it. Just realised that my camera's not quite right. Bear with me.
All appears to be in order. Now, we just have to wait for it to find us our magic. Why not take this opportunity to put your feet up? This may take a while.
Sorry, I'm trying to work something out. I'll do this. It's fine. There's still a weird line over there, but that's okay. Me too, Alice.
It's overloading.
Chief! She won't last much longer!
We'll have to shut it down.
Wait! We're close. So very close.
Oh.
Well, this is going swimmingly.
Please, a moment longer. I beg you. There.
Me too.
I was able to memorize the magic before it faded. It still needs to be put to the proof, but I believe we have our cure.
I guess they basically just like brute forced a whole bunch of different forms of magic to find the one they needed for the memory transference, but
it's just as well. She'll never run again.
The fault is mine. I'm sorry.
Don't be. It may fall short of dimension hopping, but a cure for tempering is not to be sniffed at. This, my friend, is a world-changing discovery. One we're proud to have had a hand in. A few Magitech terminals are a pittance to pay.
just whenever Grass on screen, I just watch his ears for his little ear wiggles.
Well,
Just thinking about.
we've done what we can. The rest is up to you.
Ears that do wiggles. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. But once again, I have thingamajig stuck in my head. Finally have it, the cure for tempering. All that remains is to put it to use. I shall be praying for your success across the front lines. In the end, we didn't have to pay the terminals, which is great for us, but I can't help but feel for my counterpart in the ironworks. Yup! Alas, the ironworks crew couldn't linger long. Far too much to do. Yet brief though our time together was, it was bloody good to see them. At long last, we have our cure. In theory, at any rate. We cannot be certain until such time as we put it to the proof, but I am quietly confident. If we're to test it on someone, then I suggest Gabu. His symptoms are relatively mild. As long as you exercise due caution. Yes, as long as we exercise due caution, it'll be fine. Don't say words like it'll be fine. Without further ado then, let's make for Limsa. We've kept Gabu waiting enough. Oh. Off to Limsa it is then. I burnt my hand last week, like a week ago, and it's now at the like flaky stage where it's really itchy. And boy howdy. Is it a pain in the arse? I think my captioner, the captions thingamajig replaces my pain in the arse for pain in the ass. Like an American. Let's get straight out of here and up to the F castle. Ah, there we go. Sorry for the alt tab there. I was checking a thing. Just plain Alistair is very fond of Gabu. To the extent that I have a hand in it, I shall do all in my power to bring him back. This is the moment of truth. I'll have our host bring Gabu to us at once. How you doing, buddy?
Apologies for the wait.
Gabu, have you been good?
Still no change, I'm afraid. He just stands there in silence until we move him.
It's all right now. We're going to help you get better.
Fancy meeting you here.
Alphino Yushtola! I thought you were attending to primal matters.
We were, and came here for a meeting on the subject. Certain pirate factions did not deign to attend, however, and it was cancelled.
We had resigned ourselves to having wasted a journey when we chanced to espy you. Could it be that there has been progress with the treatment?
We can but bloody hope. I keep thinking this, but Alisae's
terminals to formulate the solution.
Alisae's boots look like
Would we
ice
never have
skates.
contemplated such an approach.
So this new magic, adapted from memory transference, would be used to purge the subject of their fanatical faith, while Angelo would be responsible for reanimating the ether of their soul. Yet I wonder at the practicalities. If one were to reanimate the soul first, it would only serve to exacerbate the tempering. Conversely, a stagnant soul would not respond to the effects of the magic. Would both need to be performed simultaneously?
Ah, nothing escapes Master Matoya's inquiring eye. As you say, both must be carried out simultaneously. And thus, I propose to imbue Angelo with the tempering treatment in much the same manner as I did the spirit vessels.
Poor person in the background's like...
By doing so, we also spare Graha the trouble of casting spell after spell. It's really rather efficient.
I love Angelo, by the way.
Be that as it may, certain difficulties are unavoidable. The imbuing process will still require no small amount of ether. And, as I can no longer draw upon the Crystal Tower's stores of energy, I will be compelled to rely on those of others.
Well, I for one would be glad to assist.
As would I. Since the resumption of our duties, it has been naught but stuffy meetings, and I have ample ether to spare.
Do you want me to give you some MP? I'll pop a Lucidon, it'll be fine.
With your permission then, let us begin.
Imbue a cat.
Yes, this will do. And now, it's my turn.
Looks so cool.
Tis done.
Should we get our cats to a bed where they can rest?
No small amount indeed.
Well, we seek to go where even the Allagans did not. It was never like to be easy. The rest is up to you, Alize. The treatment itself will take time and focus.
You can do it, Alize.
So we will
I
need a
believe in
quiet
you.
room.
Go,
I'm
Alize,
sure our
go.
hosts can spare
Go,
one.
Alize, go. Alize, go. Alize, go. Just cheering her on in the background here.
I will go with her. It may be a while before we return, so I would ask for your patience and your faith.
You got it.
We'll bring Gabu back. You see if we don't.
That's better.
Twould seem our part is played. Let us find a place to recuperate while we wait for news.
Sorry that you've just got me like futzing about with my face cam settings there. Looks a bit better. There we go. Okay. Okay, off you know what you got. Seems as good a spot as any to have a rest. Okay. My face cam thing is sorted.
For years, Eorzea has laboured to find a solution to the primal problem, without success. Any hope that tempering could be reversed faded long ago. I myself had given it up as impossible. Given up on the tempered and the light corrupted alike. They were problems to be tolerated, or else eliminated, I believed. And to think otherwise was pure naivety. Childishness, even. But Alize refused to give up. She struggled and she struggled. And her efforts were rewarded with a way to bring back Halric. And now countless others may no longer be beyond salvation.
Alize's a good kid. She really is.
However much we bicker, I have the greatest respect for my sister. Had I half her stubbornness,
that's better.
Her unwillingness to accept the status quo, I would be a far better person. A far better scion.
Well, if it's any consolation, she's in awe of your work.
She told you of my graduation thesis. How very embarrassing.
Listen, this is just how it be amongst siblings.
Comforting and not a little surprising to hear that I'm still capable of impressing my sister. On the rare occasions I'm not annoying her, that is.
Like, that's how siblings work. You annoy each other constantly and...
Alize, are you all right?
The treatment.
Motorcycle goes past.
Did it work?
Outside. A friend.
I'm so glad to see you all. Delighted, happy, glad.
Oh, it's a friend.
Gaboo!
This is a complete aside, but I love Alize's new rapier. It looks very cool.
All this time, my mind was filled with thoughts of Great Father Titan. But I never forgot about Mother and Father. Always, they were in my heart. Constantly, ever, always.
I wonder who they got to play kid for this.
I tried to focus on their faces. Theirs and yours. Alize's and everyone's. And I found that I could remember. One thing, then another, and another.
Your hopes reached Gaboo. They helped him to hold on.
I'm so proud of you, Gaboo.
I couldn't have done it without you, Alize. Can you help the others too? Cure them, heal them, help them?
Hopefully.
Yes, we can. All of them.
Without wishing to dampen the mood, I feel compelled to add certain caveats regarding the viability of the treatment for general use. As you know, reversing the effects of tempering demands a profuse amount of ether, and while Alize was able to heal Gaboo alone, I fear the same will not be true for those who exhibit more advanced symptoms. Moreover, the treatment's effects are limited to the soul. It offers no succor to those whose very flesh has been altered through prolonged exposure to a primal's influence.
Well then, we'll just have to find one.
All of which is to say that we cannot save everyone.
Maybe we can't, or maybe we can. No one gave us a hope of saving Gaboo, and yet here we are. We must find a way to treat as many as possible.
Then the next logical step would be to produce a veritable army of Porkses, would it not? Granted, it seemed a simple enough process in the first, but I suspect it will be different here in the source. Not that I am any authority, of course.
Well, I'm sure we know who would be.
Yet there is an authority on familiars to whom we may grudgingly turn. She's stubborn, haughty, eccentric, irascible, laconic, annoying. And her name is Master Matoya, the real one.
I like Matoya, and
I have to go now, Gaboo. But the people here will look after you, all right? And I promise to come and visit you again soon.
All right. Thank you, Alize. Thank you.
So cute. Heartwarming feelings be like. Fine cabbage, I guess. I feel like I should start getting the gold. I feel like I get more out of that. But hey. Listen. Wow. That's what I have to say. Wow. We did it. We brought Gaboo back. And if I have any say in the matter, it'll be the first of many. Alize will be exhausted from her efforts, but you wouldn't think so to look at her now. If she's ready to press on, then so am I. I wanted to talk to Alfino, but I can't see him, so let's talk to you. I shall be at pains to remind me. I've not paid Master Montoya a visit since returning from the first, but this seems as good a time as any. Come, let us make for her cave. Let's go. While we're in Idleshire, I guess I'll pick up another book, seeing as I keep forgetting about them. Man, when I turn like this, you can really see how fluffy my hair is at the back. I do be duck butting though. Right. Let's go pick a new... Oops. Yay, it's Mr. Maeve. Can Chloe tell you something? Okay. Very important. This is when it's like, oh yeah, Papa's bunker was on there. I'm like, ah! No, copied factory. Well, that's right. I need a bunch of copied factory coins, so... Where am I going? The wrong way is where I'm going. Oh, I should also repair. Do that quickly. Tridox on Mountajox. I love gobby names. I also just love this place in general. Sorry for the weird faces I'm pulling. Oops. Guess nobody's doing a fate party. Ah. Rip. Okay. I got the big fate for this zone anyway, so I'm less fussed. But still need memories. Tortured and sorrowful memories. All of my a bunch of us in my group were all like at different levels of collection, which means that stuff always winds up being like different to what you'd expect it to be. It's been some time since Master Matoya last saw Ishtola. What a lot they will have to talk about. Master Matoya is something of a legend among Archons. I very much look forward to meeting her, if not the dressing down I'm liable to receive for my inept attempts at summoning you. Do you remember? When last we came here, it was to find out why others had collapsed. Someone had told me then they'd be whisked away to another world, a problem would have laughed in their face. Live and learn, eh? Take it you're ready to bear witness to the joyous reunion of Master and people? Very well. Right. Doing an Alphino voice, and an Alize voice, and a Graha voice, and a Matoya, Ishtola voice, and this is my Matoya. And it all sounds the same, sorry.
Nary a word from you all this time, then you bring every man and his pirogo with you. Did no one teach you any manners, girl?
They were too busy teaching me etherology, Master. Jesting aside, I wanted to be the one to express our gratitude. I am told you spared no effort to sustain our bodies while we were away. And for that,
I keep
we owe
thinking
you our lives.
about the weird scene in Ishtola's dress that doesn't make sense.
You were gone so long.
If I were making that, I would have put the seam at the side. That just on the side, not down the front like that.
It wasn't easy to leave, as it happens. Seldom does one have the opportunity to study other worlds, and I would not have minded extending my stay by a handful of years.
Very often when I look at costumes, I'm thinking about how I can construct them as a cosplay.
Studying ancient civilizations of the first, befriending a tribe known as the Knights Blessed in the process. There she took on the name of Matoya and won the respect of all the children of the forest.
Writing Ishtola out as a nerd. Oh.
I merely adopted an alias in accordance with the custom of my hosts. Yours just happened to be the first name that came
It's a
to mind.
flat.
You mean to tell me you went gallivanting about using my name and only bother to visit when you need a favor? And don't pretend you don't. I taught you long enough.
Alphino has terminal foot and mouth syndrome.
Indeed. And devoted pupil that I am, I could not fail to recall my master's sage advice. When the answer eludes you, look to the wisdom of your elders.
You there. Were you going to introduce yourself?
How remiss of me. Grahatia is my name, and I am proud to call myself a scion. I too wish to offer my gratitude for your invaluable aid.
Don't throw yourself under the bus, Graha.
As well as my apologies. It was my inexpert summoning spell which endangered their lives in the first place.
Ah, yes. The one bent on digging up the mysteries of Alag. Old Galaf used to speak of you, and Kryles told me all about your recent exploits. Do you have a bad back or something? At ease, boy. Whatever mess you've made, I'm not in the habit of dwelling on the failings of the younger generation.
Sorry, I keep fussing with my camera.
You are too kind. I've also heard much and more about you, Master Matoya. It is an honor to finally make your acquaintance.
Well, that's more than enough pleasantries for anyone. Tell me what you want. I haven't got all day.
Really like Matoya. I love Angelo.
So that's the way of it. It should be a simple enough matter to make the familiar. The magic, on the other hand.
Ah, that you may leave to me. Being the only one possessed of royal blood, I alone can imbue the subject with the necessary magic.
So I just need to create porxes with the power to stir the soul. Just, I say. Though we're talking about a veritable herd of the little buggers, we'd collapse before we reach double figures. But if I could get a familiar to create the familiars, a mother porxie, as it were. Seems I haven't seen the last of that moldy old hole after all.
Hey, there's no way to speak of my home. Actually, my flat is very nice, I shouldn't say that. I'm thinking about Ishtola's dress again. If I were constructing it, I would not put the seam down there. I would have it be something that opens, you can scroll in to look at Ishtola. so it opens from the back upwards. The way that I would do it, which it seems to be is how it's constructed, is you would step into it and then pull it up onto you, pull the sleeves up, then you have the lacing. I probably would keep the lacing loose and then just tighten it as needed, and then you've got the straps, which basically work like a sort of strapless harness. So I would have it, hi, I'm just looking at your clothes, don't mind me. I would have it so that it comes up and then it clasps in the front, probably with a neck piece. Yeah, so I would have clasps in the front. Oh, the neck piece, like how would you'd have to put that on and then clasp it, unless it was, no, because it doesn't, because that clearly is meant to be like a clasp in the back there. In that case, what I would do is I would have both this top bit and the neck closed in the front. So you would step it sort of in, pull it up onto your shoulders, then this bit would be like open on the shoulders, and then you loosen up the back, then you would that still doesn't make sense. Have clasp on the back, okay, don't mind me, I'm just distracted thinking about how to, everybody's sitting here in silence while I look at Stolla's dress and think about how I would make it constructed. In case you've wondered, Alphino got its innocent streak from our mother, and it can be rather endearing, even useful in certain situations. But most of the time it just makes me want to shake him. Poor Stolla. What does she mean, you think? Some manner of hidden workshop, perhaps? Mouldy old hole? She must really miss the place. Porksy that produces Porksies. What an inspired idea. By the way, Maeve, do you think I misspoke earlier? I assure you it was not my intention to embarrass anyone. Oh, you absolutely did, but don't worry about it. What a mild workshop, then. Everything required to make you familiar is there. That may be, but no one has set foot in there since the Exodus. I dread to imagine what has become of it. Oh, there's sure to be a handful of feral familiars and mayhap a monster or two, but nothing to trouble the likes of you. You consider cleaning up the place payment for my help? Fine, we'll do it. Good girl. Now if there are no other objections, I suggest you run along to the Maker's Quarter. I'll send one of my prerogatives to let you into the workshop. Need only to tell him who you are. One can't be too careful after all. Off you go. Unless it isn't a clasp and it just sort of you'd have a piece and then you'd have a hook of fabric that's sewn in and then a hook on top, and then you would, so rather than having it be like a snappy thing that you snap together, so you'd step into it. The back piece. Whoops, I just realised that the way I'm sitting you can see straight up Maeve's skirt. Man, you know what? Now I just want to make Stolla's dress just to work out how I would do it. The other thing I can think of is that maybe it's like a harness that you pull over your head and then snap it down. If you can make it fit, that would work. And you'd then have like a snappy clasp, or you'd get somebody to like do it for you, but grass could certainly do with a trim. As the maid mentioned, Alice and I was still very young when we departed with the Exodus. I envy Stolla for remembering the city as it once was. Judging by the unruly state of flora without, I think it's safe to assume there'll be no shortage of unruly fauna within. Add to that the undisturbed secrets of the workshop, and we have the makings of an adventure. She is. Workshop was an unforgiving place even before the Exodus, and I doubt the years of neglect have improved it. So, right, that's what I would do. It's stop twisting your head to look at me while I'm looking at your outfit. Secret clasp in the back. That's what I would do. Also, now that I look at this in better light, I can see that it's designed to be like a hook, so do that with Velcro, but I wouldn't. I would this is what the problem is. In the front. If you have it attached to the front, it is something you sort of pull over your head. Make it out of a stretchy fabric. If I was making it, I would make it out of a stretchy fabric. Or no, because the whole thing, so just have it, so then it comes, so it, again, make it of a stretchy fabric. I just want to make the dress to see how it works. Sorry for getting distracted. I just, everything, whenever I look at Stolla's dress, all I can think of is how would I construct that. Greetings, Ribbit, and welcome to Good Master's Relic. Puro Rocco is my name, and I am honoured to be your guide. Within, you'll find a space dedicated to the makings of familiars, along with a cavern wherein the requisite ingredients may be had. Must warn you, however, the place has not played host to a single soul, much less a bream, in over 15 years, and will, I regret, be in some disarray. But rest assured, my brothers and I shall see to it you do not lose your way. Now then, Ribbit, only say the word, and I will show you in. Man, I need to work out Maeve's history. Right. Who's online? Busy, right? Let's do us a Latoya's Relic. Hopefully it won't take too long to pop. And now I'll continue thinking about Stolla's dress. So, rather than having it clasp in the front is all one piece. Obviously the skirts would be different pieces, including the wide sleeves. I'd have, for the arm there, I'd have a glove be inside the sleeve, so, or have it be a separate piece actually would make more sense. Then you just have the wide sleeves, you don't need to do inner sleeves that way. So then you step into it, sleeves up to your shoulders, pull the front up, where you would, I would make these a stretchy fabric, so they can, or they would be, you'd have to like hook them, so you'd have them be open and then you do hook, 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 have them cross over. Front comes up, clasps with that piece of jewellery. Then in the back, you step into it, tighten it, you'd lace it up. I would have this be a hidden hook inside, so you have the fabric comes up this way like that, and then it's open in the front. So then you need to have a secret hook at the back, you'd have somebody hook it in. The lacing bits you would just lace them up until they were tight enough, then it would come around in the front, tighten up in the neck, and then you could link it to there. There was somebody doting and I thought they were doting at me, but no. Anyway, that's how I would make the dress. And then obviously it's loose around the waist, it has like an inner cord, which, whoops, I need to take that screenshot there. So loose around the waist, but it has an inner cord, which has a really long tail, which you would then tighten up, and that would help keep the back in shape. May not be the best way to do it, but given that I'm way out of practice with costume making, that's how I would do it. When I put this on YouTube, I'm going to have to say, by the way, in the middle of this, we have a massive long side bit where literal heaven. Maeve lives here now.
Right. To begin with, I need you to gather a few ingredients. Listen well to what the Porogos say, or you'll wish you had.
And put this on YouTube and say, in the middle of this there's a lengthy bit where I get completely distracted thinking about costume making, a thing I haven't done in several years, and try and work out how I would construct a Stolas dress. First things first, what was I? We'll need to harvest some clay. The clay can be had at the clay cauldron. Rivet through this portal if you would. Liking this music. Please follow me, Rivet, and put down any pests that bar the way. Please take some of these back. Would be very appreciated. Please allow me to assist you with the gap, Rivet. Yeet. Spriggies, aww. They are Spriggies. Do not imagine the place would be so infested with it. Ah, big Spriggy! Bear with me, I was trying to take screenshots and then it wouldn't let me. There we go. I'm liking this music. Into it. The clay is just across the way, but you'll need to deal with a mudman first, Rivet. Oh, nice. I do like this music, I have to say. That's what they call me. Pull it away, I guess? Oh, I see. Dunk it in there. Makes sense. Hard rock, baby. Well, blocked some of the drains. These guys are really creepy, just like by the by. Right. funky little point this one is. Nice. Read on everything. Now we have a play ribbit. Let us return to the interstice. I keep forgetting to read the dungeon dialogue, maybe. Next, we need to get the water flowing again. It will be my pleasure to show you to the clear note cauldron, ribbit. Please use this portal. I just read on everything for classes that I play. Let's see, it's 485, so it's... If you're in safety, I ask that you keep close to me, ribbit. Cave gelatin. Are we pulling big or no? Fine. Here we go. Box. Ah! I just wanted the box and they all came and attacked me instead. Cool. I like... this is where you get the alien gear from then. That's pretty sick. I really wish there was a way that you could try on like dungeon gear and shit to know that you like it before you go, Please wait while I move the lift, ribbit. Boing. Boing. There we go, that's better. Little spring beyond, or to put a spring in your step, ribbit. I mean, it's a recolor of some other stuff, but it's still nice, you know? Like, you can always just turn it in for a figure. You know how it be. My last firebird. Another lift, ribbit. Just a moment. I like that the froggy is like our little concierge. Another lift, ribbit. I sense a mischievous presence, ribbit. Please take your care. So cute. Tee-hee. Let's play! Water, water, become spears, finger and flesh and bone to pierce. That looks non-ideal. I don't know what to do, so... Water, water, flow so swift, wash away and set adrift. Short cast. No, just dodge the water then, okay. No, come back! Such fun! More water, we need more water! 3 avoid or stand in? Stand in thing? Oh. Get yoked towards correct thing. I see. No, my water is all gone. But I can't lose. I won't. Why wouldn't you get hit? Pardon me. I don't know what we're supposed to do with this still, so I'm just gonna wander over this way and hope, you know? Alright, I give up. You win. I'll agree on that too. Water is flowing again, Ribbit. Let us head back. Ultra slim again, Ribbit. Last but not least, we need to fire up the kiln. Step right through, Ribbit, and I will guide you safely to the kiln fire cauldron. Ribbit. Off we go, Ribbit. Please, try not to fall behind. What the Ribbit? Not again. Oh, yep, got a Bahamut to kill. A Bahamut rather hit to use. I don't think it went off in time. Damn. Just checking a thing, making sure I'd not fucked up. A little magma can't stop us, Ribbit. This magma's really pretty. Sounds perhaps strange to say, but... Ribbit, it's that big brute again. Nervous ribbiting. Like the Ribbit. Thanks for picking the marshmallow back up. Is big appreciate, Tanko friend. Okay. Honestly, smite this fiend for once and for all, Ribbit. I love, honestly, what a mood, right? gonna die before I can get into my second Kindle, but that's okay. What a fiery battle that was, and I don't mean the magma. Your destination awaits. Ribbit. That takes care of the kiln, Ribbit. But you could just hit return there and it'd be fine. Alright, it's time to bake ourselves a porksy. It is a pretty cute porksy, TBH.
Right then, let's get this over with.
Pardon me, sorry. Choof choof.
Newborns are wont to be difficult. Sure, who's in charge?
Porcine porcelain, mother porksy. So cute. Oops, I'm coming, I'm coming. Nice. Well, I'm here. Don't show any fear, they can smell it. Fucked up my opener. Fucked it up! It's fine. Tenderloin. Jesus. Whoa! I guess we can either get knocked into that or use anti-knockback. Really need to set up a porksy barbecue. It's about to get turbulent in here. Take care that you don't get sucked in. While the porksy takes a deep breath. Jump or execute actions. XRV analysis is yelling at me for all of my weaving, but I don't care. No. She's hidden herself. Find her quickly or you'll be in a world of pain. My Bahamut. Can't leave. My Bahamut. No. Hila and I are both running the same direction. Minced meat. I love that, like, minced meat, because it's like... there's something about the phrase that makes me giggle. It'd be better if it was tenderloin, you know? Nice. we go. You'll love to see it. Oh. I'm gonna come the other DPS. Put on trousers. Somebody's taking a screenshot. I like it. Not a con, but oh well. That's a pretty nice dungeon. I feel like that went by really quickly. Not as pain in the arse as other dungeons have been recently. It is really cute.
There we are. Quite tame.
Then all that remains is for me to imbue her with the magic. My friends, I'm afraid I must trouble you for your ether once more.
I feel like Matoya's gonna put a stop to this in just a moment. No? You can have my MP too if you want, Graha. I didn't use much of it in the last fight. I really want a spell that does that. That effect with the circles around you looks very cool.
That should suffice.
Good. Let's set her to work then, shall we? I want to see some proxies. Assuming that is, someone can spare the requisite energy.
I just want to live here.
A mere drop in the ocean for the great sorceress Matoya, I dare
say. I love I just pointed at it, like you can see the pixel artwork on the walls there.
Excellent. Our very own litter of Angelos. And we can make as many more as we want, simply by providing the Mother Porksy with additional ether.
I will require a moment before I try again.
It's still hard work, but a damn sight more efficient than making them one by one. Thank you, Master Matoya. Everyone, we're a step closer to our goal.
Oh.
Distributed amongst the allied nations, they should do much to facilitate closer dialogue with the beast tribes. And given their present travails, I believe our friends in Limsa Laminsa should be the first beneficiaries.
Back to Limsa Mimosa, I guess.
Agreed. Though I must leave this errand to you. I doubt my legs will carry me out of the cave, much less to Vilbrand.
Just ether port there. That's what I'm gonna do.
Thank you for taking the lead in gathering the ingredients. I expect you would benefit from a rest too.
Also, I didn't comment on this when we were running through.
I trust you've gained an inkling of how much effort goes into the creation of familiars. Or mayhap you attribute your
And
struggle
I liked the
to
Porksy appearing as we made it.
If I said yes, would it persuade you to treat me like an adult?
Absolutely not.
Not with that pertness, it wouldn't. Anyway, assuming you have no other favors to ask, I shall be leaving.
Keep staring at that seam. I can't help it. Porksies. Doing Porksy things. Being Porksies. Given it was the first time making a Porksy, Master Matoya did a fine job, though she did have Anglo for inspiration. Forgive me if this is a silly question, but of all creatures real and imagined, why choose a flying pig? Not that I dislike pigs, mind you. Well, I'm sure there's a Stola somewhere around here, but I can't seem to be able to target her, so... Lest you wonder, Master Matoya has returned to a cave with his Stola. There is peas a pod. Peas in a pod, are they not? That's where she is. And Matoya's relic with trust NPCs. Let's see, brilliant minds, rapier wits, humour drier than Fanlan. Appearances aside, I'd say the two Matoyas are mirror images of each other. Followed you through history, I came across the names of a great many distinguished individuals such as Commander Hex and Master Matoya, and it's been a delight to meet them in the flesh. I heartily look forward to making the acquaintance of the rest, not least the Azure Dragoon. No, you don't. My friends, let us return to Liminster and deliver the good news to the Admiral. A word to the officer on board what call should be sufficient to secure us an audience. Back to bloody Limsa's Mimosa we go. I'm still thinking about the seam in the front of your Stola's dress. It's not the way that I would make it, but you could do it so that it wraps around, so you basically pull it over yourself like a robe. You'd have to make some of the material stretchy anyway, but you could do that, and then it zips up, and then again I would have it so that you can hook the laces on, and then I would have stuff in front. Either way, there's still... I don't understand the seam. I just don't understand the seam in a Stola's dress, and I'm going to keep thinking about it. Ever since we saw a Stola, it's been 1.5 years and I've not stopped thinking about it. Just to be clear here. Even as we speak, we are weaving a new future, and when it all becomes history, I hope that those who follow may look back in gladness. Though the Admiral is not expecting us, I'm sure she'll want to hear our report. Come, let us request an audience. If we offer them the means to cure the tempered, beast tribes are far more likely to listen. White Lieutenant Connolly, ever a welcome sight. Tidings for the Admiral, you say. She's presently receiving guests, but for the Scions, I know she'll make an exception. Follow me. Oh, how appropriate. My friends, what brings you here this day? Well, you see... Is this true? By the Navigator, a cure for tempering. As often as I've been in awe of you Scions, I would not have thought it possible. And yet it is, Admiral. We've done it, here in Limsa, and production of more familiars has already begun. You have my thanks, truly. This will do much to advance the cause of peace, yet I fear it will take more to close the rift twixt man and beastman. Bah, even to speak thus divides us. Welcome as it is, cure will not guarantee reconciliation between our peoples, for though summoning in the tempered may serve to fuel the conflict, they are but symptoms of it. If you are to resolve the primal problem once for all, we must address the cause. We must strive for mutual understanding and find a way to leave our bloody past behind. 'Twas I who moved that the Alliance renew its push for peace. Since our ancestors came to these shores some 7 centuries past, we Laminsons have been at odds with those who share our island home. Save for the brief moment of cooperation with the kobolds, our history has been one of nigh constant territorial squabbling. Meanwhile, our struggle with the Sahagin for control over the seas has only grown fiercer, a matter made worse by the thrice-damned calamity driving them to seek new spawning grounds. With survival at stake, each had no choice but to fight, and so I dismissed peace as impossible. Impossible is a word coined by the weak, I proclaimed to all who'd listen, and then gave up. You and yours put me to shame. Since you have led us to victory against the Black Wolf, you've achieved the impossible again and again and again. And I thought it high time I followed suit, hence my proposal to the Alliance Council. But no sooner did I reach out to our neighbours in Vilbrand than my own people sought to thwart me. You speak of the pirates who failed to attend the meeting. I, acting through a friendly faction among the kobolds, we'd intended to seek an audience with a prominent patriarch. But the bloody executioners would not hear of it, and their absence sent a message to the rest. Though they are but one of the 3 pirate powers, they are the greatest, and any attempt at peace would founder without them. I'm given to understand that their leader, Captain Heelfear, has been bedridden for some while with an ailment of the lungs. Correct. In his absence, his right-hand man leads, a man named Sicard, but recently risen to prominence amongst their ranks. Save for his disdain for authority, little is known about him. We've invited him to speak with us more than once, but he will not come. I've tasked the Yellow Jackets and the Rogues with uncovering his motives, but they've learnt naught of any value. Leave it to us. We've got a bunch of healers. We have a nose for the truth. Whatever this Sicard wants, we'll find out. Truly, I would be much obliged. I shall look forward to hearing what you learn then. Good luck. Sorry, I got distracted because of my captioner. Which is being very slow. Okay, it seems to have caught up now. Admiral is right. The cause of the conflict needs to be addressed. We'll do what we can to ease the way, but ultimately it falls to the Laminsons to make peace with their neighbours. You guys saw that, right? Alphino was, like, emoting like this. I know naught of the city save what I've read or heard in passing, so in this matter I will follow your lead. By way of a first step, I suggest we split up and make inquiries around town. Someone must know Sicard. If you could approach the pirates' maid, the rest of us will seek out merchants and adventurers. Okay. Where are we off to then? Castle and Marauders Guild. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this. Apparently if you're doing crafting, a bunch of people AFK in Limsa because the board is so close by that it's easy. Like, you can teleport in and the stuff that you need is right there. I have a problem with that. I like that they're all doing the slab squats. girl. Eh, you want to know about Sicard? He's a wily bugger is what he is. Found some clever way to make coin, they say, and traded it for Moonscat's place at Old Halefier's side. There was a time we raced the executioners for our pick of the Empire's fleet, but the Guardians are gone and them days with them. Owing to which, we've all of us had to look for other ways to make ends meet, with that jumped-up build-ride Sicard landing the juiciest, whatever it may be. Not that we Sarans struggle in mind. We do well enough golden fishing boats from the fishbacks and other beasties. Get the first pick of the produce for our trouble, see? Quality stuff is bargain price. This we pass to our sisters as can't sail on account of getting old or wounded or with child, and they cook it up and sell it for a pretty profit. Simple. Oh, I miss the old ways, don't get me wrong, but when I see the girls with their little ones, I think to myself, life of peace and quiet ain't all bad. Pirates, I'm a big gay, unpredictable. I'm just gonna run over to the Marauders Guild. Oh, that reminded me, I wanted to... sort up my inventory a bit. But there is no need for me to do that on camera. Curious about Sicard, are you? As am I, my friend. As am I. Sadly, I know nothing of the man, save that the bloody executioners experienced a marked improvement in their fortunes after his promotion. Quite how he achieved this is a matter of some debate. As you know, the thalassocracy permits us to attack only Guardian vessels, yet these have all but vanished from the sea since the Empire turned in upon itself. In order to adapt, we Krakens have taken to trading with the East, but the executioners are less forward-looking. I cannot imagine they would willingly abandon the old ways. So how then are they lining their coffers? Whatever their secret, they're not like to share it with our rivals, but perhaps you will have more luck. I'm sorry that I have forgotten how to speak. Rivals. Yeah. Where am I going? Wrong way is where. Where am I going again? Oh, down. Just take the lift down then. Girlfriend and mine's Curious Mandeville. Walking through the city, one would never suspect this was until recently a bastion of piracy. The Admiral is to be commended for overseeing so swift a transformation. As I went about making my inquiries, I chanced upon a shop that boasted a rather enticing selection of sweetmeats. Perhaps we could take Gabu and Graha there one day? I see everyone was returned. Now, who'd like to go first? Well, the pirates are suspicious. The other two groups have moved forward, but he hasn't. So just as their imperial prey began to disappear, Sicard turned the executioner's fortunes around with a mysterious new source of income. Whatever it is, it's nothing to scoff at. According to a tavern keeper I spoke to, the crew have been indulging themselves as never before, but no amount of drink seems to loosen their tongues as to how they're coming by their coin. For my part, I spoke with a reporter from the Harbour Herald. The publication has been investigating the secret of the executioner's good fortune and making little headway. Plainly, the executioners do not wish the nature of their business to be made public. And I think I may know why. In the course of making inquiries on Hawker's Alley, an interesting fact came to light. Just as the executioners began to enjoy their better fortunes, the price of crystal went into sharp decline. A sudden fall in demand, I was told. Curious, I contacted Hoary Boulder, who'd been watching the movements of the beast tribes, and my suspicions were proven correct. Despite ever-worsening relations between the beast tribes and thalassocracy, neither Titan nor Leviathan have made an appearance of late, suggesting that the Kobold and Sargon lack the means with which to summon them. Do you mean to say the executioners are divesting them of their crystals? All indications point to that conclusion, yes, though we have no hard evidence as yet. We must investigate further. Agreed. So how do we proceed? Oh, I have an idea about that. In fact, I've already taken the liberty of making certain provisions. Just take the silver pieces. Probably better, you know? Keep that just in case. Okay, I'll stop fucking with my inventory now. If Arthur's theory proves well-founded, it would go some way to explaining the executioner's vehement opposition to peace. Do you remember how Arthur pretended to be some manner of merchant to infiltrate Umor? Well, I bet you 10 gil he's about to reprise the role. Arthur has the look of a man with a plan. During my inquiries, a disgruntled merchant informed me that a wholesaler of crystals had recently arrived in Liminsa, offering wares at prices far undercutting the competition. After asking around, I was able to gain an introduction and will shortly pose as a potential buyer in a bid to establish the crystal's provenance. Man is to be due at Ostron's Embrace in Lower Lenosha shortly. I suggest we make our way there. Let's vamonos, huh? Let's go. And as we go, I will stop futzing about with my inventory. Scummo Crummo. Appears to be our merchant. Wish me luck. Wait, if he's truly in league with the bloody executioners, he'll surely be worried of those allied to the Admiral. Scions not least of all. Compared to yours and Maeve's, mine is an unfamiliar face. Let me play the role of buyer. Graha's right. Even if you aren't recognised on sight, you look too genteel to be mixing with society's underbelly. Genteel? But very well. I'll leave it to you, Graha. Go for it, Crystal Catboy. You're partially made of crystal, so you should know what to say, right? Or were partially made of crystal. Got business with me, Catboy? You're the crystal wholesaler? That I am, but you're no merchant. So what do you want the crystals for? Don't look at us, you idiot. Give yourself away. Oh, I see. You're a weaponsmith, am I right? And you need crystals to make stuff like that fine specimen you got there. That's right. I am indeed a weaponsmith, and I use naught but the finest materials. I bid you, show me your wares. Well, we don't invite just anybody into our storehouses. It takes time to establish trust, you understand. Look, I have quite a large and earned commission. If the quality is satisfactory, I will not quibble over the price. Alright, it's plain that's no ordinary crystal adorning your stuff, so I'll make an exception. Come with me. I like how Maeve had to kneel down because they're so bloody tall. It seems to be working. Let's follow them. I love that Catboy is a phrase like in-game, if that makes sense. Like, got business with me, Catboy. I'm all for it. Good God, my inventory is a mess. Whoops. Well, I'll sort that out in a bit. Hang on a sec, I've been here before. Given how long you spent playing the Crystal Exarch, you'd think Bradhart would be a better actor. Honestly, if it hadn't been for that staff, we must remember to thank Tataru. They went into that tunnel. Quietly now. Oh my gosh, it just looks so good on female characters. You won't find any finer, especially not for the price. Indeed, I'd be more than happy to pay more than double for such quality. How could they possibly be so cheap? Nothing unlawful about them, if that's your worry. They're from Orgamora, if you take my meaning. Stuff's as pure as it gets. You won't be disappointed. So how much do you want? Orgamora, taken from the kobolds, just as we suspected. That's enough. Shut your gobs and turn around slowly. Who's this dipshit? I know who this dipshit is, but... I'm Sicard, acting captain of the bloody executioners. You need to introduce yourselves. We know who you are, scions. And we also know you've been chatting to the Admiral. Got eyes and ears everywhere here, see? Comes with being the only true pirate crew left in Limsa. So we've established you ain't here to buy crystals. Question is, what are you here for? You're bold to reveal yourself to us without knowing our objective, but that would explain your swift rise to power. You've spoken plain, and so I shall return the favour. We came here to learn why the bloody executioners oppose the Admiral's will. And we have our answer. Should Limsa limits and make peace with the kobolds, you would lose the source of your newfound wealth. That's right. Just to remind you though, we ain't breaking any rules here. The law forbids us from attacking any vessel not flying the Imperial flag, but it don't say nothing about beastmen. Only reason we keep our operation nice and quiet is because we don't want no one taking our business. Wait, just listen to the end, will you? For what it's worth, I have the highest respect for you and yours. Them, especially. While the maelstrom will reign about dirting the fancy red clubber, you lot stormed Orgamora and battered Bleeding Titan himself. Raised a multitude when I heard the news. And now we're following in your footsteps, making sure the beastmen never summon the stinking gods again. Practically your successors, we are. While there's still Imperial ships about, we did our bit for Limsa and went after them. But with the Guardians gone, there's no one left to play our trade on except the beastmen. So let us have that, eh? It's only fair. Contentious though some may find your views, it is true that you've broken no laws. That being so, I see no reason why you should not state your case directly to the Admiral's face, unless the acting captain of the only true pirate crew left in Limsa has some other cause to hide in a cave. Well said indeed. Alright, I'll meet with the Admiral. I'll even provide the venue. The Astalicia. I trust she won't turn down the invitation. Well, that could have gone better. Looks around shiftily. Don't know about you, but it was all I could do to stop myself punching Cicada in the smirking face whenever he opened his mouth. Though I've some passing knowledge of prior events, I am yet ill-qualified to meddle in the Mincin affairs. It is not my place to argue with Cicada, much as I'd have liked to. Nay, it is the Admiral to deal with him and the bloody executioners both. By bringing them to the negotiating table, we have played our part. Thought myself the hunter, but it turns out I was the prey. Timely reminder that the pirate powers of Limsa Limosa are not to be trifled with. Limsa Limosa. But all's well that ends well. Graha's timely provocation is the desired effect, and Cicada's agreed to a meeting. Let us hurry back to Limsa and pass his invitation on to the Admiral. Rather than teleport, let's just lie down. I keep summoning the Firebird because I really like it. I am also going to, whoops, go directly past where I need to go, hand all of these in. Seeing as we are at the Aft Castle anyway. Intimidating banana. Here we go. Oh, sick. I can hand Eden stuff in now. Nice. I just want to get it out of my inventory, you know? All of my old crafting gear, and I will sell it. Can I? Well, I was going to try and sell it to you, but let's head down. Okay, a little bit market prohibited. That's fine. Companions have already reported a command room. Will you be joining them? No. I've changed my mind. I'm staying home instead. Well, I have no assurance that Cicada will be amenable to reason. There can be no compromise without discussion. Sicard does not want for confidence, that much is plain, but I have faith in the Admiral. She's dealt with far worse. The Staff's Felicia is the very last place for such a meeting. Admiral will be marching right into the Cull's den. I hope we don't end up regretting this. There you are. We've eagerly awaited your return. Welcome back, my friends. What news? Well, you see... So they have been stealing crystals from the kobolds. My thanks for solving the mystery and securing a meeting besides. Suffice to say, I accept Sicard's invitation. I would have you join me as my guests. The future of Limsa hangs upon the outcome of this meeting, and I would have the science present to bear witness. Have the science present to have hiccups.
Look who's come crawling!
Traitor!
You can shove your piece!
I do love Merlin.
Welcome aboard, Admiral. I'll wager you don't remember me. Sicard, acting captain of the bloody executioners, at your service.
'Twas kind of you to invite us. Now, if Captain Hillfear has a message for me, I bid you speak it.
We have just the one demand. That you forget this bilge about making peace with the Beastmen. Ours is a nation of pirates. Always has been, always will be. Deny us our right to plunder, and you deny who we are.
Nation of colonizers, bitch.
Too bloody right! Pirates till we die!
What we want, we take!
Piracy has no place in our future.
What'd she say?
Pirates have no place.
Sure do, bitch.
Our nation has prospered through piracy, 'tis true. Yet it is but one part of our long and storied history. Centuries ago, our ancestors led a failed rebellion and were driven from their homes with little more than the shirts on their backs. In fear of their lives, they sailed south until they came to these shores. Finding the land occupied by kobolds, however, they were forced to turn to piracy in order to survive. And survive they did. But not so long ago, when the Empire threatened to crush everything we'd built, we set aside piracy and joined hands with our neighbors. This too was in order to survive. And survive we did.
And now,
Time after time,
Limsa's
we fought the Empire,
most popular home base, I think.
time we won, and through trade with our newfound allies, we prospered more than we ever did through pillaging and plundering. The Empire teeters on the brink of collapse. Ere long, provinces like Wurlit and Bosnia and many others
That's how you
will
pronounce it,
regain
Bosnia.
their freedom.
As opposed to Bosia, which is what I've been saying.
When they do, our matchless fleet will lead the world in a new golden age of commerce. The tides favor us, and the ocean beckons with her vast bounty. But if we cling to the old ways, this great ship we call Limsa will trade the boundless seas for a lagoon. Shall we scorn the world's wealth for a plundered pittance then? Or shall we embrace change and thrive, like our ancestors before us? The choice is yours. But if we are to prosper in the coming age, the whole of Vilbrand must become our ship, and a kobold and Sahagin our crewmates.
I'm really glad they're addressing us.
Might even be some truth in them. But pirating's all we've ever known. And we ain't about to give it up just 'cause you say so. Still, we're all the Mincins here and no one wants a war. So where does that leave us? Long before you became Admiral, I heard you was captain of the League of Lost Bastards. That true? If so, you'd know how we pirates settle our differences.
Who the fuck is this dipshit?
A duel. Very well. As Admiral of Limsa Laminsa, I accept your challenge.
Come on it. I mean, that's the face of somebody who's cheating. I'm blessed by the number of rogue names we've got on camera. God, I love her so much.
This ain't over! Not till one of us is dead! Finish the job! Or I will!
It's the captain!
Captain Ilfair!
Ye fool! 'Twas over afore it began.
God, what a good West Country accent that is.
Captain!
Seems the whelps have been yapping while their master was abed.
God, oh God, that makes me miss home.
Listen well, all of ye. Since the signing of the Galadian Accord, we all of us have been part of the same crew. The crew of the good ship Limsa Laminsa. At the helm of that ship is the Admiral. And 'tis she who decides where we sail. Was I not clear on that point? Or did you forget whose deck you stand on? Nay? Then what in the seven hells are you playing at?
It's all we know, Captain. If we ain't pirates, what are we?
You're bloody idiots is what you are. Idiots with your own lives ahead of ye. Ye can do anything ye want. Be anything ye want. We're pirates, aye. And we pirates love our loot. But that ain't our first love. Our first love is the sea. The sea! And what she brings us. Freedom! So hold fast to that. Let the brine-crusted husk that stands before you now be the last of them as knew naught save out of steel. And make of yourselves a new breed of pirate! Lad, I made ye me right hand 'cause I saw something in ye. And I still do. You have the makings of a captain.
All you lack's the belief.
It's a dipshit is what he is.
Well now, it seems we're of one mind after all. Apologies for the misunderstanding, Admiral. We're with ye, wherever ye be headed.
You have my thanks, Hilfir.
Oh, I'm so dumb.
Choice a dueling pistol did not escape my notice. Good old Annihilator. Ender of many a proud pirate's voyage. Mistbeard's vanished into legend, and it won't be long before I take my rest in the depths. Yet be that as it may, the old ways can only truly die when we've dealt the Empire the telling blow. There'll be stormy seas ahead, no doubt. But I'm trusting ye to steer us through to the other side.
I feel like they've addressed something that I've always been thinking about, especially with regards to Limsa. I feel like all of the various city-states are bad, but Limsa's the worst, because with Limsa they really are colonizers, you know, they came to the island and basically kicked the original people out and said, actually, we live here now and this is our home. So it's nice to see a sort of attempt at resolving that issue. Also, that was such a good West Country accent. My favourite story, I don't care whether it's apocryphal or not, is that the reason the stereotypical pirate accent is that, or our West Country accent that I can't do, is because one of the first actors to play a pirate, like a notable pirate on screen, had, in like the non-silent movies, had such an intense West Country accent that that became like the standard for the pirate voice. But I do love a West I cannot do the impression. I do love a West Country accent though. Times when one must stand one's ground, even if the cost of failure is beyond reckoning. The Admiral did just that, and I have nothing but respect for her. As she continues to steer her nation through this period of transition, I pray the Navigator will see fit to fill her sails. When the discussion gave way to a duel, I feared what might unfold, yet only a fool would underestimate the Admiral, as Sicard soon discovered. While I don't contend what Sicard has been doing, I know how difficult it can be to change course. It took me long enough to join the Scions, didn't it? Like Mistbeard before him, Hilfir chose to trust the future of our nation to the Admiral. That was the moment, I believe, that the good ship Limsa Lominsa finally embarked upon her new course. Though I'd anticipated a duel, I did not foresee that Hilfir would intervene, but full glad am I that he did. It would have been a shame to kill the boy. Instead, the whelp has learned a valuable lesson, and we've made peace amongst ourselves. All that remains is to do likewise with our neighbours. J materia. Okay. Great ship all round. Now, I need hardly tell you, but any attempt to negotiate with the tribes is doomed to fail unless their minds can first be wrested from the grip of the gods. So in the meeting we seek to arrange with the kobolds, I would have you free their leader of Titan's influence. Leave it to us. We will open his ears to reason. The twins change voices every time I say them because I forget which one's which. Ere we proceed, there's something you should know. Some 50 years passed, when the Sahagins swarmed at our hulls in ever greater numbers. Limsa entered into a covenant with the kobolds. To men shall go the bounty of the sea, to kobolds shall go the bounty of the land. An ostensibly equitable arrangement, conspicuously lacking in detail. Aye, inadvertently or not, the wedding was ambiguous, and we took advantage of it, moving in to claim the northern reaches of Lenosha, which the kobolds believed theirs. Bloodshed followed, then bloodshed to answer the bloodshed, and on it went until every Ilm of Ilbrand bore the stain of our conflict. This is not history, you understand, it is the present, fresh and raw, and with their kindred's blood yet on our hands, we will struggle to regain the kobolds' trust, even should we cure thy tempered. Admiral, you speak of obstacles we are like to encounter at the meeting, but as things stand, I see no reason why the kobolds would agree to a meeting in the first place. And so we must provide a reason. I will restore their stolen crystals to them, and personally deliver the cargo along with my apologies. Bait, They would welcome us into their midst not to speak of peace, but to have you at their mercy. And given the wealth of the crystals we'll bring, I'd wager they'll attempt to summon Titan there and then. Meaning the High Priest would need to be present, to whom we could administer your cure. Precisely. He is the fish I would catch, but he will not be alone. Nay, he will have guards on hand, and they will lay down their lives to protect him. Yet a single death on the kobold side would jeopardize our chance at peace, and there my venture found us. Yet it need not. What if we were to employ the Conqueror's Chain, though we would still have to weaken the kobolds that would allow us to subdue them without inflicting lasting harm? Artifact Mistbeard used to take goods and not life? Aye, that'd serve. Well done, Marshal. So, friends, what think you of our strategy? Effects of tempering are cumulative, and we may safely assume the High Priest's exposure to primal influence is extensive. It will therefore take a great deal of ether to reverse its effects, not to mention time. Time during which Alisaie would be defenceless. Even should we all look to her protection, not convinced we could keep an entire army of kobolds at bay. Well, I'm happy to take that risk. It's not as if we have any other choice. Besides, it's what Tesleen would do, and had I not followed her example, we wouldn't even have a cure for tempering, much less a chance to bring peace to Vilbrand. So I'm going to cure that priest or die trying. Don't say words like that, Alisaie. I believe in you, Alisaie. And I believe in you too. You and everyone. I know you'll keep me safe. It'll settle then. See to your preparations and make for Canopy Overlook. We will join you there soon. It's weird, like, I'm enjoying this, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't feel like it has the same sort of, like, world-ending importance. I don't know. It makes sense that it would sort of necessarily be obviously like a winding down for 5.3 or winding into 5.5 and like Shadow whatever comes next, 6.0, whatever that may be, but be under no misapprehension. The extent of the High Priest's tempering this like to far exceed that of Gabu, but then his was a relatively mild case, milder indeed than the majority of those we wish to save. The coming mission will be the true test of our treatment. I have no doubt that Alisaie will succeed with the cure, if we can but afford her the time. Alphinaud wasn't lying when he said I'd be defenceless, so I'm counting on you all to give me the time I need. Our sole purpose will be to keep you out of harm's way, so leave that to us and focus on your own task. Indeed, and should you want for ether, you need only say the word. Gabu, did you follow us here? There's something important I wish to say to the High Priest. Express, state, say. Please let me come with you, please. I'm sorry, but it's too dangerous. I need you to promise me that you'll stay somewhere where it's safe, okay? My apologies for the wait. It took time, but we have secured our audience. All unfolded as expected. At the mention of my returning the crystals in person, the kobolds suddenly remembered how keen they were to be reconciled, and so in the glorious spirit of cooperation, we are to be received by Patriarch Darzar of the Second Order, who awaits our pleasure in the navel. If you are ready, let us proceed to the Ugamora mines at once. I'm sorry, Gabu. We'd be worried about you. We do be having worries. I really want for a mouth chocococa. So cute. Also, apparently I don't have a single Christmas related mount, which seems unfair and unlikely. I suppose the fawn could count. Pardon me. God, I forget how much of a pain in the arse it is to get around here. Got there eventually. Oops. I say that and then immediately got turned around. Conqueror's chain stands ready, but weaken your foes and it will see them subdued. Nothing more to say. I'm going to do this, for Gabu and Tesleen and everyone who's ever dreamed of a better future. Patriarch Zaza. If the name sounds familiar, it's because he was the one who presided over the death of Gabu's parents. I tried to reach out to him that day, only for my plea to fall on deaf ears. But this day will be different. We'll reach out together, all of us, and we will take the pieces in our grasp. Alice can be forgiven a certain amount of recklessness, but if she goes far enough to contemplate sacrificing herself, I will remind her how she responded when I thought to do the same. Not that it will come to that, of course. Ready when you are, my friend. Aetherite will bear us to a quarry. Should I make summon Titan as I anticipate, we will halt the ceremony and restrain him. At this, all hells will break loose and we'll have an army of kobolds to entertain till Alize's work is done. Just remember, none must die. We must weaken them and let Ainzar do the rest. It is time. Stay the course, my friends. I spy calmer waters beyond this squall. I've got the yawns. It's because I'm sleepy and I do apologise. How appropriate that Titan is the current Unreal. I'm sure this will be much more emotional when I actually redo this quest and remember what's going on.
I am Merlwib Bluffisvin, Admiral of Limsa Laminsa. I come before you to offer my sincerest apologies for the many wrongs committed by my people against you and yours.
You were foolish to come here. Stupid, unwise, foolish. The Great Father shall have your souls for your folly.
Aye, just as we thought.
Now, Alize! Quickly!
You don't need to tell me.
I believe in you, Alize.
Let none pass. We must grant her as much time as we can.
I wonder what role Exile plays. Can he still play any role? Need to protect growth. Pardon me. I'm so sorry for the yawns. I'm not bored, I'm just tired. You know how it be. I'm beginning the incantation. Gal seeks to harm the Patriarch with our magics. Kill her, slaughter, slay, kill. Not if we have anything to say about it. Maeve, draw the columns to me. I'll deal with them all at once. You're in my sights. Time for the chain. Yes, it's ready. Go, Angelo. What sorcery is this? Alice, are you alright? His tempering is too severe. I can't finish the job. So one person's ether alone is not enough. They're targeting Alize. Everyone, gather close. I love Graha's little there. Oh, I'm coming. Everyone stay back. I will keep Alize safe. Alphino, let us lend Alize our ether.
Here you are, Alize.
Thanks, you two. I'll give it another try. Bombs! We can't let them get near Alize. I'm nearing my limit. Curses. More of them. Spread them out and hold them off. Seven hells. There's too many. Leave this to me. Stand clear, all of you. All the things. Alize, now's your chance. Alright, please let this work. Is it still not enough? Almost there. Maeve, please lend me your ether too. I got it, Alize. Just tell me what to do. You're dead now, girl. Finished. Done for the deed. Done for. Dead. No, you don't. No, Admiral. It's too dangerous. I've made my decision before I came here. No matter what it costs me, Elimsa will have peace. Slay the last one. Exterminate. Destroy. Slay. Come back and let me finish attacking you, dude. Pop paddle on. Doubt it's going to do anything, but you never know. God, I wish I had a self-heal. Maeve, just a little more ether. Just a little more and I can finish this. Thank you. It will work this time, I promise.
Yes, this will do. Here I go.
Go for it, Alzay.
Go, Angela.
Keep pronouncing the name as Angelo. But that's just because of who I am as a person. I suppose the thing is, after this we can then use crystals as the source of ether.
What?
What is the meaning of this?
I'm sorry, but they died by your hand. You sacrificed them to summon Titan.
Ba-da-da-da, 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 Titan. Ba-da-da-da, 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 Titan.
Why would I do such a thing?
Would that there were a cure for the victims of the Tempered.
There he is.
Gabu! What are you doing here?
Patriarch, please listen to me. Hear, heed, listen.
How does the Patriarch see out of that helmet?
The summoning is false. He only hurts us and those we love. For a long time, his voice filled my mind. It told me to do terrible things. Awful, unspeakable, terrible things. But I didn't give in to it, and you mustn't either. There's been too much pain already, so please, end the suffering.
What have I done?
Hey, you know what? We all make
share this
mistakes.
child's desire, Patriarch. An end to summoning, for it spells naught but misery for both our peoples. For many long years, man and kobold have feuded over territory, pillaging and perishing for the earth beneath our feet.
It may be said that we fought to survive, but what we have sown in blood, we have reaped in suffering, and it cannot go on. I would see us set aside the past and work together for peace.
Me too.
It was wrong of me to hurt my own in the name of the Great Father. Sinful, evil, wrong. But that doesn't mean there can be peace between us. Men cannot be trusted. The bounty of the land was to be ours, and yours the bounty of the sea. But you broke the pact. Violated, breached, broke. Unready as we were, what choice had we but to call upon the divine to rid ourselves of your tyranny?
None, and I do not blame you for it. In violation of the spirit, if not the letter of the pact, we took your lands for our own. The fault lies wholly with us. On behalf of all Laminsons, I offer you my humblest apology. I pray you'll find it in your heart to accept it.
I'm really glad that this game is addressing the sort of colonizer aspects of Limsa Lominsa.
Yet I know an apology alone will not serve to make things right. So, we will revise the pact to leave no room for doubt. And any who violate it shall face justice, swift and certain.
No, we won't be fooled. Not again.
Please, hear me to the end. Fleeting though it was, there was a time when man and kobold abided together in harmony, in cooperation. In those days, your people shared the secrets of smelting. Knowledge which allowed Limsa Lominsa to thrive. Much of what we have, we owe to the kobolds.
Sure do.
And so, for the good of all who dwell on this isle, I wish to make you an offer. We will bear your people's wares to every corner of the world, and trade them in your stead. In return, we will bring you the bounty, not only of the sea, but lands both near and far. Whatever you desire, the Navigator as my witness, you shall have it. There will be no more man and beastman, just the crew of the great ship that is Vilbrand. And together, we will share in the wealth of the world, if you'll only accept our hand in friendship.
We want to believe you. We truly do. But we believed you before and you betrayed us. Fooled, deceived, betrayed us.
There are bad men, it's true. But there are also good ones. And the ones before you are the best of them. They were always kind to me. Caring, nice, kind, and I trust them with my life.
Before I became Admiral, I was a pirate. I stole, I fought, I stained the sea red with blood. Such is my past, and I dare not forget it, however much I might want to. That is death penalty. The pistol I used to pass judgment on my own sire when he fell thrall to Leviathan and betrayed his comrades.
Love the name of
It's
these
loaded.
guns.
If you were to point it at my head and pull the trigger, I would most assuredly die.
Though it isn't much, my life is the single most valuable thing I possess. If it will suffice to atone for past wrongs,
Don't create another power vacuum. It's the last thing we need.
Bullet to annul the old pact, and my blood to write it anew. What comes after, I entrust to this man, my second in command. I know that he will do his utmost for the happiness of all who call Vilbrand home.
Pretty gun. Well, I mean, at the moment he's pointing at in between her legs. Phew.
I do not trust you. Not yet.
Valid.
But Gaboo does. And I will trust him.
We want you to know that we respect your faith. There's nothing wrong with giving thanks to the land which sustains you. But summoning is different. Should you hear of anyone who would attempt it, we ask that you appeal to their better judgment, or failing that, seek our aid.
I guess it's probably going to be
ready to help.
People amongst amongst these guys who.
My brethren are yet enthralled to the Great Father, just as I was. If you could free them too, I would be grateful. Appreciative, thankful, grateful.
Tis we who should be grateful, Patriarch. I thank you for affording us this chance.
I take back what I said earlier. My prognostication is we're going to go to a less fantasy. So the way that Stormblood was not, it didn't have the sort of high fantasy aspects that Shadowbringers does. My prediction is we're going to go back to that. And this is, there's not much fantasy involved. It's very easily transferable to the real world. But it's still really good. Like, that showdown was tense. I genuinely did not, I thought I was going to survive, but I didn't know for a fact. To be honest, even if she had died, she probably would have come back in some strange way, so. But I'm enjoying it. I like the sort of more return to the political aspects, and this sort of colonial aspect of Limsa is something that I've sort of thought about for a while, so, you know? Really nice here at night. Admiral seems hell-bent on worrying me to death, but I suppose the ends justify the means. Well fought, my friend. Well fought. In 2 separate worlds, the seeds were sown, and through the determination of 2 indomitable women, they've quickened into the historic moment. I feel honoured to have been present to see it. The treatment may have restored the patriarch to his senses, but it was the Admiral and Gabu's words that touched his heart. This moment belongs to all of us, Maeve. We couldn't have done it without each other. No, I want to talk to Alpha now. No? Alpha now. Wrong button. Taken a long time, but the dream of a lasting peace with the kobolds may soon become reality, and it is thanks to Alizé. So glad we could sway the patriarch. Convince, persuade, sway. Thank you for making it possible. Thank you. To seeing we found a way forward with the kobolds. Next, we will help the Second Order to free their tempered brethren from thraldom. Theirs is far from the only order, of course, and it will take no small amount of time and effort to reach the rest. But reach them we will, however long it takes. I would say that I was in your debt, but that has long been true. So instead I will say thank you for helping us plot a new course not only for Limsa Liminsa, but all Eorzea. Guess we could all do this. Alizé, not the least of all, given the amount of ether she's been expending as of late. Gabu is wise beyond his years. It's all very well leaders signing peace treaties, but it falls to individuals to bridge the gap. Footnotes. Face is part jubilation, part relief.
Right. Let's return to the Rising Stones.
Admiral, something strange is afoot at the floating city.
Breathe, man. What is it?
I think it's best you see for yourself. Please, come with me.
Nervous energy.
What in the world is that?
Well, nothing good.
A tower?
You can see it too, then? I feared I was losing my wits. One moment I was patrolling as usual, and the next it was just there.
Ring, ring, ring.
Yes? This is she. I am. I'm
Like the implication that everybody has a little, like, Bluetooth headset that they wear at all times.
Understood. Send the Elder Seedseer my regards. The communications officer. It seems this isn't the only tower. They've sprung up all across Eorzea. Nothing more is known, only that they appear to be of Garlean construction. Our allies on the Alamegan front are on highest alert. Forgive my directness, but would you join them? They may well need the help.
Nuts energy.
Of course, Admiral. We shall make all haste.
My thanks. I will return to Limsa to weigh our response. Look for Commander Hext when you arrive in Alamigo, and may the navigators speed you on your way.
Big nervous energy. I love the dramatic zooms on the Mog head, because it's just Mog. Although I remember in 4.5 when they took my face off. That was so rude. Sorry that I keep yawning. I'm sleepy. I want to go investigate this tower. Like, as much as I can. Bugger. Answer is none. it. Other than strange. Creepy. Appears to be business as usual inside the city, but Lisa will be able to tell us if there have been any developments without. But Gabu, don't worry, this is with our Maelstrom friends, meaning we're free to deal with the latest problem to fall uninvited into our lab. Scroll that. Where you at, catboy? There you are. Though it isn't visible from here, locals report that a tower-like structures appear to the south.
Thank you for coming so soon. I'll send for Commander Aldin at once, and we can decide what to do about these infernal towers.
Roger preserved!
Fuck?
It can't be.
The palace! After them!
Literally, what the fuck?
You're here, good.
Literally, what the fuck? Hi.
Well,
Listen.
well, well! To be received by such an illustrious cast! Why? Even the hero of the piece is here! I feel quite starstruck.
Is that Asahi?
His body, more like. You don't fool us.
Oh! You saw straight through it! Anyone would think you dealt with Asians before. Permit me to introduce myself. I am Fandania. And may
How
I
about
say
you
what
don't?
a pleasure it is to finally make your acquaintance.
The towers. What are they for?
My, straight to business is it? Suit yourself. It is my intention to recreate the final days. To which end I have distributed a collection of rather ingenious devices, or towers, which will, in time, give rise to the grandest of spectacles.
The final days? But it was the Asians who laboured to prevent them.
You're quite right, though I would expect no less from one responsible for eliminating my unsundered colleagues.
Did you know that your hood does not attach to your robes properly?
Honestly, the three of them were obsessed with restoring the one true world. As a sovereign individual, however, I never had much interest in such things. I mean, why bother when you're just another sundered minion? Admittedly, Elidibus was not convinced by that argument, but thanks to you, I'm finally free of his incessant nagging. Free to use my powers as I see fit, to fulfill my heart's desire.
Just
And my heart's desire is to lay this half-broken world to waste, leaving nary a fleck of dust behind!
What? Why would you want such a thing?
Asking the real
Because
questions,
I want
Alizé.
wretched creatures who ask such meaningless questions to die! You! And you! And you! I want you all to die! And I want to die too. Oh, yes. I want to die and take everyone with me in a paroxysm of pain and suffering.
This is why they put him in Asahi's body, because only Asahi could make faces like that.
I'm different, you see. From the ancients who clung to dear life, and from you. So don't bother trying to reason with me. You will find I have no reason, or creed, or any such tripe. I just want to destroy the world. But please do resist with all your might. It will add to my enjoyment. Now then, ladies and gentlemen,
I don't count.
Keep your eyes peeled, for the curtains have risen on the spectacle to end all spectacles. We, the Telophoroi, shall be your performers, and this very star our stage.
Oh jeez, I wasn't paying attention there. And then Evil Bahamut. Oops, my mouse is right in the way there.
Ah, but I nearly forgot. I have a message for you. My esteemed patron, Lord Xenos, eagerly awaits you at the heart of the chaos. While I wish only to destroy the world, he exists solely to relive a certain
big game
transcendent moment with you. And it is for that reason he would reduce all to ash. Pray see to it his dreams do not go unfulfilled. For if you should disappoint, my trusty companion here, whom I've dubbed Luna Bahamut, will burn your cities and everyone in them.
I'm gonna have to rewatch this cutscene, but how bloody bizarre.
Everyone out! My men will tend to the blaze.
Like, I get that they both are just like the some men just want to watch the world burn trope, but there's gotta be something underneath that. That cannot be all of it. So, Telophoroi, appears to mean Endbringers, which I suppose could be Shadowbringer, you know? What could these towers feasibly play in the Telophoroi's plans, do you think? I for one am at a loss. For now we should bear word of these developments to the others. I only hope Thancred and Yoyange are safe. Their objectives are different. I could understand why Lidibus and his fellows acted as they did. But find Daniel? It'll take me some time to make sense of it all, if indeed there's any sense to be found. You're right, Maeve. The rest of us are fine and a little singed. That dragon let us off lightly there. Honestly though, only a madman would choose the name Luna Bahamut, which just about sums up Find Daniel, I suppose. Scouts report the Asunan's dragon have left Girabanya. Seems as a purely social visit. Goodness, everyone's safe. We managed to put out the fire, though not quickly enough to save the garden. Raban, can I leave it to you to send word to the Alliance? I'm going to take a unit and investigate the tower. We need to find out what it's for. I'll go with you. No, you won't. You'll rest. From what Merlib tells me, you're due some time off duty. Should we learn anything about the tower, we'll be sure to share it with you. Until then, I want you to rest. Very well, but if you need our help, don't hesitate. And take care, both of you. I thought that person teleporting away was, pose. You found a cure for tempering. Oh, makes me want to go and do something heroic right now. Speaking of which, I better get ready and set out for the tower. Nasun is on the prowl. It will not be long before we call upon you and yours again. Rest now while you still can. So... a tower off to the south, which can't be seen from here. There it is. I wonder where else they popped up. I mean, they look appropriately evil. She'll have to go look around and find the other ones. Sorry, I was posting in Discord while we load in. As you do. You know how it be. Curly beef knob, huh? Takes all sorts. Good. Stone's back. Though my new rather old, by which I mean young. Though this body has a good deal more stamina than the one I wore out first, confess I've been looking forward to a moment's respite. We've had a busy few days, have we not? Yashola returned just before us, and it seems she knows about the towers too. Ah, how good it feels to come home to the Rising Stone. It's here my heart feels most at peace and my mind the clearest. It would seem we've had quite an eventful time in my absence, but I'm fully rested now and ready for more. Welcome back, Maeve. Make yourself comfortable and let me know if I can get you anything. Ah, you're good. You're back too. Good. We received the reports from the Alliance. Since we're all here, perhaps those who bore witness to the events at Alamuga could treat the rest of us to a first-hand account? Well... no sooner do we overcome one problem than another appears. It would all seem tediously predictable but for the endless variety of our foes. This Van Daniel sounds even more unhinged than his patron. Unhinged perhaps, but no fool. For all his pantomime theatrics, he gave away little about his plot. We know only that he intends to recreate the final days, and that the towers will somehow facilitate this. He also called his dragon Luna Bahamut. Let's not forget that little detail. And the creature did certainly resemble the Elder Primal. I would know I summon one all the time. That may be, but the fact that it answered to Fandania would suggest they are not one and the same entity. I think it more probable that it is some manner of simulacrum born of Asian magic. Whatever it is, for now we can but work closely with the Alliance and remain vigilant. I believe that it concludes our news. What of yours, Ishtola? I've been to see the Sultana. Knowing how quick the immortal flames are to dispose of the Embered, I judged it best to provide them with a cure first. Yet, as soon as I had sufficiently recovered, I travelled to Ul'dah and delivered the porksies to her grace, along with detailed instructions on their use. Yet my visit chanced to coincide with the arrival of some troubling tidings. Mortal Flames had been on the cusp to agreeing with a truce with the Amaldra when negotiations abruptly collapsed. Amaldra claim a number of their kind had been abducted, and that men are responsible. Naught is known of the perpetrators as yet, but as the Immortal Flames went apart about investigating the abductions, they came across one of Fandaniel's towers. On the subject of towers, you may be interested to know that they're not an exclusive Eosian phenomenon. According to the Alliance, they've been sighted as far afield as Yansha. Then it would seem reasonable to assume they're everywhere. We simply have not found them. Well, as you said yourself, we can do little for now save remain vigilant, and since we're dealing with the dragon, ostensibly at least, believe it would behove us to enlist the aid of an authority on such foes. A Stinian. Stinian? Now, just a moment. If he could be persuaded to lend us his lands, I'd be the first to welcome it, but the truth is we'll struggle to even find him. Ha, you let me and Kral worry about that. We'll sniff him out no matter where he's hiding. If indeed he is hiding, we have ways of locating him regardless, so if there are no objections, we should depart at once. I love the power contained in those tiny bodies. This turns to Graha like, please temper your expectations. Well, rather than sitting around, I think I might go to each of the city-states and educate them in the use of porksies. They would doubtless appreciate it, but might you consider taking a moment to rest before leaving? You'd be fresher for the tasks ahead. Well, my friend, our moment of triumph did not last long. 'Twas ever the way, the world often needs saving. And save it we shall. I for one do not intend to allow a nihilistic madman to take us all to the grave with him, not when the future holds such promise. Nay, I will do all in my power to protect those whom I hold dear, just as you have always done. Captioner thinks that my hummings were saying TV guide. Meanwhile, somewhere in the locks.
Scouts should have been back by now. I'm gonna go and find them.
Oh no.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace, I'll be safe, Lucy.
The piles have been driven as planned, and the first of the beasts has roared to life.
I like how...
I am pleased to report that preparations are well underway for the rest. Ere long, chaos shall reign over all the land, as befits the final days.
Call it what you will, so long as my friend returns to me, fangs bared and claws sharpened. I care not.
Of course, my lord. By strange coincidence, your dear friend...
Camp, that's the one I was looking for. Skipping about.
I took the liberty of informing him that you await his coming, though I confess I may have singed him a little in the process.
And why do you tell me this? Are you in such a hurry to die?
Ah, my apologies. I must guard my tongue lest it be the end of me. Though, there is something to be said for such a glorious death. Better to fall to one who has it all than falter before an inferior. Huh. I shall keep it in mind as a contingency. For now, however, I shall proceed with the plan. My lord.
I must find myself a new weapon. One worthy of our long-awaited reunion.
I have to say I much prefer this outfit, but I do wonder how his jacket stays on. Must be like pinned to his shirt. Big nervous energy. Just a little rest and I'll take to the road again. Each of the nations will need guidance on the use of proxies. Don't worry though, I won't do anything reckless like certain exarch, we know. I just want to do what I can to ensure the cure will help as many as possible. Die. In the face of this In the face of this new draconic threat, we would indeed benefit from Justinian's presence. Yet I cannot help but wonder how Kral and Tataru intend to locate him. They certainly seem confident, however. Pardon me, good lord. How are things going over here? When we went to deliver the ice shards, we had occasion to speak with Gra Hatir. Sister says he acts like an old person, but if you ask me, he seems like a perfect gentleman. So I had a little chat with Graha. Though he looks as young as any of us, he has the air of an older person about him. I suspect he's seen more than his fair share of trials. Hori challenged you once before, and now he has sights upon Gra Hatir. I fear history is about to repeat itself. They say Graha is a versatile combatant who excels all roles in battle. I should very much like to set my sword and shield against him. Must be nothing quite like basking in the Grow Brothers' fighting spirit. We must make with this bout with Graha happen. Yes, we must. Apologies, I had a coughing fit and died at the end there. Use the Allied armies. Link pod conversations are well and good, he said, but there's no substituting face-to-face meetings for fostering cooperation. Well, events have taken a grim turn. I must say that I have enjoyed our time adventuring together. The visit to Asislan, not least of all. Since then, I've spent some time pondering why Lord Amon rejected Owen's proposal to investigate a cure for iconic corruption. Perhaps he judged the endeavour too difficult to pursue. I considered, but it seems more likely it was not in Alec's best interest for a cure to exist. Whatever the truth may be, full glad am I that we could finish what Owen began. I wonder what our friend and Empress Solus would think were he to learn that his own flesh and blood are seeking to usher in the final days, together with a rogue Asian, no less. Idle musings aside, I pray that Thancred and Yonshe return safely, and with the intelligence we sorely hiccup needed. Well, folks, with that, I am going to end things off here. I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. It is very much appreciated, and I do hope that you enjoyed. I will be streaming tomorrow. I'm not sure when exactly, but we are going to be doing all of the non-MSQ stuff. So that involves Eden, that involves Wurlet, that involves the new capstone quests, the demon quests, and also the like tie over for the Yoha raids, and anything else that pops up. I will make myself a list of exactly what I'm working through and where to go to pick them all up. So that will be tomorrow. I'm not sure when that will be, but I will be posting in Discord and on Twitter when I'm ready to start. I'm going to try and get some work done first, but we'll see how it goes. Then on Thursday, I'll be streaming Higurashi when They Cry, Matsuri Bayashi, which is our final of the main story chapters, and we will begin to bring this story to a close. Then on Saturday, it'll be Nier Automata, where we're going to be finishing Route B and seeing just what has been causing this emergency. And then Sunday, it'll be Destiny 2, where we're going to continue hanging out, doing stuff, you know how it be, just fucking about really in Destiny, do some more hunts, things like that. And then finally next Tuesday will be Final Fantasy XIV, where I guess I'm going to start getting our Shard3 stuff. I'm not sure yet, I haven't decided, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, take care everybody, have a wonderful evening, look after yourselves, and I shall see you guys tomorrow.